Hello everybody and welcome to another day of Gloomhaven. Today we'll be tackling once again scenario number 21. I think our title should still be correct. I should double check that. Yes. Nope, it is not. I don't know why it didn't update properly. Because we changed it last night. I mean on Tuesday night when we streamed. Well, there we go. Sorry, we're just a couple minutes behind. I had to deal with delivery companies. Are they really only supposed to eat? I think we're missing Wind Demon. But yeah, basically, we were supposed to have something delivered, and we were home, but as happens so many times, they never. Oh, the Wind Demons are there. Oops. They don't actually deliver, and then they left it our neighbor, but our neighbor is a store, not actually a house or home. So yeah, it's kind of a bit of a mess. Anyway, that's my excuse for being late. All right, let's start setting this scenario up again. Shouldn't take very long. Okay, and in the first room we have one Elite Sun, one regular Frost. Good afternoon, ECO. Are you doing well today? 11 and 16. Excuse me while I have a couple sips of coffee. Yep, I'm gonna put my phone on silent. My fiance responding as I sent her the picture of the Avis de Passage. It has to be left in the mailbox when they let us know that they left something somewhere else. All right, we need to do city and road events real quick. That we can do quickly enough. City first. Ugh, I don't like this so much. It's a reputation? No. Okay. Well, that's not bad. All right. Wait, hold on. Actually, I'm an idiot. I need to see, was it collective or each? Collective, and that's each. Okay. All right, let's move away and back. So we gain 10 collective gold and we gain 5 experience each. Well, the 5 experience is super easy to apply. Oh, oh, ouch. That one experience, huh? Okay, and the collective gold. At this point, that's tough actually. Huh. That's actually really tough. Where I want that to go. Let's see how much gold it costs to enhance gold fire, right? I think it's 175, but I don't remember exactly. This is important for this decision. So 200, yeah, so it's 67. No, so it's less than I thought it was. So yeah, it's actually not so expensive. But it's 117, right? Because 200 gold divided by 3 gives us 67, and then it's level 3 cards, so we have 50 more gold. So 117. Really, for some reason I thought it was more expensive to do that enhancement. I mean, I know it's a really valuable enhancement, but okay, so that's not very expensive at all. And since we know, I mean, how much money we're going to get for enhancement, guess we can go to the Cragheart here then. All right, we'll just give him the 10 gold. So why am I doing this now? Well, we already gained our most expensive enhancement on the Spellweaver, which was the one that we were the most anxious to get to as well. Of all 3 of the enhancements, I would definitely say that any element in Reviving Ether is the most significant. After that, The Hex and Coldfire is very, very important, but not quite as significant. Because I mean, any elemental reviving ether gives you the ability to have Coldfire consistently stun from whatever level 5, or I mean I guess level 3 theoretically if you don't want the damage. I mean have the damage and stun. The example rounds down. Not that it matters. Oh, does it round down actually? Okay, I didn't remember. All right, well so 116 rather than 117, but fair enough. Thank you. Anyway, so like, the difference between being able to consistently deal 3 damage and stun on 2 to 3 targets is better than adding one more hex and not having the elements. So that's why that's just the most significant enhancement, although the next one is quite nice. But basically, since we've already got that, now we just need, I mean, we need less than 100 gold to actually finish this, and then after that, we're actually going to be out of enhancements to do based on our current prosperity. Whereas here, we actually don't even have our first enhancement yet. We're still 8 gold away from that, and then the next enhancement for us will be 100 gold, so we could actually use the gold just a little bit more on the Cragheart at this point. The Brood is obviously lost and forgotten because no one loves the Brood. Okay, let's do our road event then now. We just don't have anything to buy, do we? No. Okay, alright. What a racket. So we have to lose one collective small item. Sip real quick. I think the least valuable is probably the... Yeah, it's probably the minor power potion. It's not an AoE fight, it's a boss fight, so single target matters more. This represents typically 1 damage. Oh god, we're not... I gotta make sure I get those blesses out. We're not even gonna have the blesses this time. We shouldn't have done the silly route while we had these. I guess our argument could have been that we thought it was more reasonable to try the silly route when we had these, because we were more advantaged. But yeah, I have no blesses. Maybe we should have donated, but we've already done the road event, so it's too late now. Anyway, so basically, I mean, 1 damage on the boss just isn't that significant, and the rooms, I mean, they have typically 2 to 3 enemies. So but like high HP enemies with shields, stuff like this, so the damage from power potion just doesn't represent much for the scenario. I think being able to stun one of the demons with one of these stun powders is just more valuable, and obviously the healing, the stamina potions, and the mana potions are certainly more valuable. So I think this looks good. All right. We need to reset all of this. So to successfully beat this scenario, we still have to get lucky when and hit on our 50% chance that the wind demon which is spawned is not an elite, because the elite wind demon is a bit too much to deal with. So that's all shuffled. That's all shuffled. This is reset. These have all been shuffled. Alright, I think we're set up for everything. Let's put out our hands now. So the Brood actually had gained a card. Oh, yeah, we gained Skirmishing Maneuver, which I think we'll definitely take here. What do we no longer want? Broken Roar is, it's not great on this scenario because we can't disarm the boss, but in the first room, for example, being able to disarm the elite Sun Demon is quite significant. Yeah, the push doesn't really do anything here, although the shield can be nice. Yeah, and I think I prefer these 2 cards more than these 2 cards. I mean, I'm sure I do. So it just comes down to Trample or Warding Strength. It's interesting. Trample is specifically just useful in the first 2 rooms, right? We know that we have a Sun Demon here where the Trample is essentially an attack 5, and we know we have Wind Demons here where the Trample is essentially an attack 5. So for those 2 rooms, it's quite good, whereas the Warding Strength is more useful. Thank you very much. Thank you. The Warding Strength is more useful on the boss itself if we get set up before we go in, getting 6 effective health in advance. That is quite difficult. I think the rooms before the boss should be easy enough that I guess we probably don't need Trample, especially if our plan is to keep provoking Roar for that purpose as well. Yeah, I think it's easier to get rid of Trample than Warding Strength. Again, just to be clear with Warding Strength, we're really just keeping it for the bottom here. And I know the bottom at level 5 is a loss. It's not that valuable. That's actually a fair point. Yeah, it's actually not that valuable. That's the most interesting thing, right? Oops. Now that I think about it, it's actually just
against enemies at this level, it's not even worth really playing this. Against this sort of fight, in this sort of fight, right? The boss attacks for 6. So we can lose a card from our hand to negate 6 damage, and that card can be any card, so there's no opportunity cost, and it's actually a free action. Whereas here, it's not a free action, it actually requires playing an action in advance. So Warding Strength is just strictly worse, basically, than just losing on an attack 6 from the boss. I mean, obviously, yeah, there's the experience game, but the experience doesn't matter to us that much. So, all right, never mind. That makes things much easier. It's easy to be a little bit too attached to Warding Strength, I suppose. I'll grab the battle goals as soon as I'm done fanning out his cards. Is the Spellweaver going to get her first battle goal this scenario? Probably not. Well, her second. She actually did get one. Just lost the check mark. All right, let's grab them. All right, for the Brute, 5 or more kills, take only short rests. So we're definitely going to long rest at least once this scenario, so 5 or more kills is more likely. 5 or more kills isn't very likely either, but, I mean, whatever, Brute perks, eh. But it is certainly more possible than taking only short rests, because there's no world in which we're not going to want to long rest once before we go into the boss fight. Loot no tokens or treasure money tokens or treasure overlay tiles or gain 7 or fewer experience. 7 or fewer experience is going to be relatively difficult, since even if we play Rock Slide like twice only, which is not going to happen. Like, all right, so like 3 Rock Slides plus Blunt Force powered up is already 6 experience. Anyway, looting no tokens is actually quite possible. And again, we're in the same situation we were in last time, where 2 check marks gives us a full additional perk, which, yeah, I value to some extent. At the same time, the Cragheart does want money, but have 1 or more monsters present on the map at the beginning of every round during a scenario. Loot 5 or more money tokens during the scenario. Well, looks like the Spellweaver's once again not getting a battle goal. Hold on, I'm going to finish my coffee while I contemplate this. This sucks either way, though. Neither one of these are really going to get done. Alright. So, to explain why a Hoarder is unlikely, right? 2 monsters here, I believe 3 monsters here. Maybe, no, it has actually 4 monsters in here. So we're looking at 6 monsters and then the boss, which is 7. Although, there's not even a guarantee that when we destroy the altar, that the boss will be close enough to pick up the coin, since we got to be near the altar, not the boss. So, I mean, really, we're looking at like 6 to 7 coins drop total within range to pick up, and we would have to pick up 5 of them. But at the same time, is that more likely than 1 or more monsters present every turn? 1 or more monsters present every turn going from this room to this room is not too difficult, but going from this room to this room is very difficult. Because when we enter this room, the monsters are naturally going to come up this way, so we're going to end up fighting in this section of the room. And we don't want to rush having to go into the boss, because the boss is actually very difficult. So there's no way we're doing this. I guess we'll try to grab 5 coins. But if we don't, I mean, again, as Corlot has so eloquently put before, where's Spellweaver? I mean, the Spellweaver knows she's not getting battle goals at this point anyway, so we could just stop drawing them for. Oops. How would solve that, at the very least? So I think we did regret not bringing Flame Strike for the earlier part of the scenario, actually, and care less about consuming their elements. So Frost Armor will be better once we start fighting the boss, but Flame Strike will be better in the first room. That's difficult. I think we're going to take Flame Strike this time. I don't think either one of these is a 100% obvious choice. I think there's a lot of room to go back and forth between either of them, but I think I prefer trying this time. I really do wish I had had that wound in the first room. It made things significantly faster. Although, of course, this is also quite luck dependent, because the Sun Demon can just end up healing himself. But still, we also forgot to gain, no, not forgot, we need to gain our extra health on the Brute. He's level 5 now. Alright, as explained last time, we're going to stick with just +2. I mean, we lost. Normally we'd go down in difficulty, but here, again, we lost. Not because of the difficulty, so much, at least. Alright, so how did we do this last time? Well, we we had a pretty nice plan last time, right? And we're not going to make the same mistake as last time. We are just going to go early so we can disarm that stupid Sun Demon and not run the risk of the Frost Demon getting in our way. Even though the first room did more or less go fine last time. Okay, so we lead with a fire attack. And I think a bit of movement with this is the plan. And then we're going to lead into a little wounding attack. And we want it to be maybe already in range. Oh, we can't start there. It has to be here. And us, we're dropping rocks and taking names. And we will remember to use unstable upheaval this time. I mean, sorry, to use the hammer and potion to get back unstable upheaval this time. And again, the rock plan is rock, but he has 3 movement, right? No, so we have to be back here. Well, I guess we're always going to move afterwards, so it doesn't really matter so much. But I guess this gives us more flexibility. I mean, from here we can place the rocks anyway. Sun Demon shouldn't go before 10, so it's not like it's going to go. So then we do what? Rock. Oh yeah, the reason why we didn't like this is because the Brute takes 2 damage from us dropping the rocks afterwards. If we place a rock here. Yeah, but no. I mean, that sucks a little bit, but a little bit of damage is okay. The disarm isn't the most important thing. So like the taking damage from the obstacle to disarm early, this trait is bad, just as we deduced last time. But the real risk is the Frost Demon doing exactly what it did, blocking our path and not allowing us to then make our move forward, etc. So this makes it so that we do actually prefer to go early, even if, we're stopping an attack 5 by taking 2 damage. So it's like rock, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Shuffle everything one last time, just to make sure. I'm sure I've shuffled all these things plenty of times already, but never to be too careful, right? Alright. So, he wasn't going to deck us this time, but that's okay. Just make sure the stream's running fine. Let's see. Garlord always the optimist. Ever the optimist. Alright, we're going to use the bottom hook and chain to do a move 4, attack 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get an attack 4 on the Sun Demon. Okay, 2 damage. I'll do the damage in a second, and then we're going to make an attack 2 disarm with Provoking Roar. Alright, so 1 damage. So we got 3 damage total because he has 2 shield. So the first attack 4, 2 gets through, which is 2, and then the second is attack 2 plus 1, 3, so 1 gets through. So down to 13, and disarmed. Okay, then the Cragheart goes. So Cragheart's going to create Earth, gain 1 experience, and drop some rocks with the top of Rock Slide. So let's see, the Frost Demon does have 3 movement. So if we go rock there, he goes 1, 2, 3, or 3 and reaches no one. Yes. If we leave this, then he goes to attack him. And this is just worse, right? Because he attacks for 4. So even though we're doing 2 damage by dropping a rock here, we're preventing an attack 4. So it's still worth it. This is admittedly why the Cragheart does not love having melee allies. So then it's just here. Which one of these? It's easier to push him into this than it is to push him into this. So let's put that there. It's actually impossible to push him into this. So. Okay, so 2 damage to the Sun Demon. And 2 damage to the Frost Demon. And the Frost Demon will be attacking no one. Well, none of them will be attacking anyone. Alright, then the Spellweaver goes. So we have an attack 4, range 3. Again, we're going to focus down the Sun Demon as quickly as possible because this is the biggest threat in terms of enemies in the room. So we create a fire and we attack with Engulf as an attack 4 on the Sun Demon. Should we try to use goggles here? No, I don't believe so. Okay, that's fine. 2 damage, down to 9. And then we have a move 3 with the bottom of fire orbs. We wanted to already be in range, so we had more flexibility to move away if we wanted, but actually we do prefer to move up. This way we can use Flame Strike from within range and then move away if we need to next turn. And since Flame Strike is range 2, we need to get it a little bit closer. Okay, so then the Frost Demon goes, like I said, is move 3. This focuses the Brute because of proximity. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Brute because of proximity. 1, 2, 3. And creates an ice. And oh no, sorry, it's actually only 2 movement. He has -1 movement when he does this. My bad. And then the Sun Demon just is disarmed, so it does nothing. Stays adjacent to his focus. Alright. Alright, I said I was doing it, so I am just going to do it here. I want it to be quite clear. It's not like anything that happened changed this, but yes, as usual, we always hammer a potion the first use of Unstable Upheaval. Okay, so Flame Strike for sure. This is annoying. This is a tough call. So we always want to use one of these 2 cards. I think, well, no, it's pretty greedy. The problem is that the Sun Demon has a 33 where he attacks all adjacent enemies. So if he flips that specifically, he'll come here and hit both of us, which is so bad. So our 36 isn't good enough initiative, which would lead us to want to use one of these. The problem is then we're giving up one of our attack 3s that we can use on the Frost Demon. Alright, well, let's see what everyone else is doing, because maybe that'll make the decision easier for us. So the Cragheart has Earth. Doesn't do so much. There's no dirt tornado that can hit everything in the room. Can immobilize something. Immobilizing the Frost Demon would make more sense because they're less likely to do ranged attacks. The Sun Demon has 2, although he's already flipped 1, so actually they have equal chance of doing ranged attacks. Huh. Interesting. Alright, what is the Brute doing? Let's start with that. I think, as before, we probably want to attack with Trample. The question is then, do we want to use Spare Dagger to attack? It's just an attack 2 and just something with 2 shield. Our modifier deck isn't that good yet, so I think that's probably not worth it. I think we can, however, use Skirmishing Maneuver, which still gives us decent initiative and lets us do a ranged attack on the Frost Demon, which is just pretty free here because we don't really need to move. We want to stay next to Sun Demon anyway. Since we're not CCing him, he's always attacking someone, so better to have it be the Brute. Alright, so what can Craggy McKittens do? I mean, I suppose using the top of Earth and Clod sucks the most, not because the top can't be useful, sometimes it really can be, but because giving up that bottom action is so painful. But this disarm does seem quite valuable to be used on the Frost Demon, just keeps the Frost Demon from hitting anyone. This essentially still functions like a heal 4 that also does 2 damage. And then what? Probably want to go a little bit earlier than 38, just to make sure the Frost Demon doesn't do anything mean. So I guess we can just use this to go at 21 initiative, gain 1 experience. 21 initiative should beat the Frost Demon. If Frost Demon gets a ranged attack here, I'm going to be obviously quite sad, but also, I guess, all right. This allows us to be a little more flexible too. So this is interesting because we can try this now. We still don't want the Sun Demon to flip the 33, but again, it is just 1 card out of 7. And even if he does, now because the Cragheart's going before 33, we can actually, I mean, we have 2 people going before 33, so we can do stuff like, moving the Cragheart up, moving the Brute away, or something like that, or we can even just, move the Cragheart to here using boots. This way, the Sun Demon will attack these 2 and not attack the Spellweaver, and we'll also get retaliated, something like that. Again, it's not optimal. I'd rather him just not do 33, but we still have a lot of flexibility because we've got 2 people going before that, to the point where I think it is worthwhile trying to let the Spellweaver go at 36, hope that the Sun Demon goes after, and then we get value by using the bottom of Elemental Aid as a shield. All right. 68, 58. Beautiful. Nice. Nice. All right, so the Cragheart goes first. Cragheart's going to consume the Earth with the top of Earth and Clod to make an attack, or gain 1 experience, and make an attack 2, if I was only attack 5. Attack 2, range 5, immobilize, targeting Frost Demon number 5. Okay, 3 damage. some free damage on top of CC, so that was pretty nice. Now we have Blunt Force. Do we want to move up? Probably do. It gives us just more flexibility to not have to move next turn. So we'll just move up to here. And we gain 1 experience from the bottom of Blunt Force. We also have 1 Retaliate, although that's not doing anything here. Okay. Then next up is the Brute. So the Brute's going to lead with an attack 3, Pierce 2, targeting the Sun Demon. So 2 damage, because we pierce the 2 shield that it has. It goes down to 7. And then we're going to use the bottom of Skirmishing Maneuver to gain 1 experience and do an attack 3, range 3, targeting the Frost Demon. Again, an attack 3 against something with 2 shield isn't very good, especially with disadvantage, so it's just much better to target the Frost Demon here, even if it's a less important part, or a less high priority target. Right. And Frost Demon's down to 3, which the advantage of this is that we can just kill it next turn, so that we won't have to deal with it. Okay, and the Brute's done. Then the Spellweaver goes. So the Spellweaver is going to use Flame Strike to consume the fire and make an attack 3, range 2 wound, targeting the Sun Demon. This wound is going to be hopefully quite valuable. Ooh, that's also quite valuable. All right, so our 3 becomes a 6, which does 4 actual damage, putting the Sun Demon down to 3, and the Sun Demon gets a wound. And then we're going to use the bottom of Elemental Aid to give Shield 2 to the Brute, since the Brute will get attacked by the Sun Demon here. Nice, this turn was really good for us. Oh god, why would I even say that? I'm always suspicious of scenarios that start off too well. Alright, Frost Demon goes, is immobilized, so does nothing. And then the Sun Demon goes, +1 attack, huh? Alright, fair enough. Creates light and makes a +1 attack. So an attack 6, advantage, targeting the Brute. He also takes 1 damage from his wound. So 7, alright. Well, we're going to long rest, so we might as well just use this now. We're not actually sure that there will be any more incoming attacks. So that means 5 damage. I appreciate that you weren't going to try to jinx me, Corelord. It's on me to jinx myself. But yeah, I mean, right? It is going exceptionally well thus far. Alright, so this only needs to take 1 damage to die. This needs to take an attack 3 to die. My tablet just went to sleep. Alright. We don't have any relevant elements. I think the only shame about using Mana Bolt's top is that we do give up the heal on bottom, but at this point, the Brute needs 5 healing. Oh, whoops, we forgot to do the 2 damage to the Brute earlier when he took the damage from the rocks. I was thinking he should be missing more than that. In this case, we have, what, with like 5 healing from the Cragheart. The heal 3 could be relevant if we can move next to the Brute and then use that next turn. Ugh, that's tough. All right, let's see what our allies can do. It's just, this is so nice because of the initiative. All right, so it's kind of on the Brute to finish off the Wind Demon, I would say, and we want to do that as early as possible, which probably means using this for initiative. I think this is reasonable. An attack 5 is a little bit overkill, but it gives us experience anyway, and it protects us against things like a -2. Even a -2 here, we get the 1 damage, which means it dies to its wound. We are giving up our attack 5 for when we enter the next room, but we know we'll be facing Wind Demons, and we can even set up the Skewer with Leaping Cleave, so this is still actually quite good for us. An attack 4 Pierce 1 is just as good as an attack 5, so this is just safer to do here, and then have that follow-up next turn. We also still have Balance Measure options. We've got a lot of good options, basically, for when we enter the next room. So doing this now makes sense. And again, just using our absolute best initiative to try to make sure we go before it. All right. So the Cragheart certainly wants to heal next turn. Yeah, I think we're going to try to save the heal on the Spellweaver. Save the bottom Mana Bolt to heal. This way we can actually top the Brute off completely. It's a small thing, but it does matter. And I suppose we'll keep Reviving Ether. The reason for keeping Reviving Ether here is because it's almost certain that we're not going to open the door this turn nor the next turn, right? Next turn we're going to have to go get set up near the door, especially with these obstacles kind of blocking our path, right? But basically, if we're not going to enter the room next turn, we would rather save Reviving Ether for next turn. That way we can set up an element for the turn we enter the room. Like next turn we'll move Reviving Ether, and then we'll at least have one of the two elements for Cold Fire. We consider mana potioning the other, something like that. So that means we're gonna. Oh, the annoying thing though is. Oh no, yeah. Probably if we want a Mana Bolt bottom next turn. This doesn't actually end up working out. Well, then I guess we don't set up an element. That's okay as well. I mean, I guess we have options one way or the other. We'll just play Cold Fire here as a generic move, which will allow us to get next to the Brute so that we can use the bottom Mana Bolt to heal him. Okay. So presumably the two of them are taking care of the the Sun Demon, so it's just the Cragheart who needs to take care of the Frost Demon, and we have the perfect card for this, actually. Frost Demon's at 3 life, and Heaving Swing, again, makes us very, very safe here. We can do just a early move with Unstable Upheaval going to here, and we're just going to knock the Frost Demon into this rock. So we make an attack 3 on something with 3 health. This should kill it anyway, but even if we get as bad as a -2, we still put it into the rock and get 2 more damage, 1 experience, and kill it. So we're, again, in both cases, we're protected against everything except a miss, which is the best thing you can ever do for an attack. For a room cleanup turn, I think this looks really good. Okay. 18, huh? But 13 first. And 30. It wasn't 33 the target's all. It was 36 actually. I was wrong. All right, that's good to know. They do have a 33 if I remember correctly, but I guess it's something else. Or maybe there's also 33 the target's all. I don't think so. This is the exact card I was thinking of. I must just confuse 33 and 36. Okay, well, happy we're going at 13 with the Cragheart for sure. We're going to do a generic move 2 at the bottom of Unstable Upheaval, moving to here. No using to use our boots or anything like that. Then we're going to make an attack 3, push 1. We will be using the push on the Frost Demon. Okay, well, the only downside of not get we would definitely have preferred to get a -1 or a -2 there, because this would remove a -1 or -2 from our deck, and it would actually end up getting us 1 experience and clearing the way into this room. But well, we still killed it, so I'm not going to complain too much. So it's loot nothing, kill 5 or more monsters. All right, well, hopefully he gets the kill here. Actually, I guess that's another advantage of making the attack 5. Frost Demon's eliminated. Then next up is the Spellweaver. Oh man. Well, I mean, we still can attack. So, this is a bit of a feel bad, man. It's the Spellweaver stealing people's battle goals. I guess we just don't care so much about the Brute's battle goal. It's not very likely that we complete it. But if we attack here, if we get a +1, we kill it. Which kind of sucks, because then the Brute doesn't get the kill. Also like to pick up the coin, which means, yeah. Let's believe in the Brute. Heart of the cards and all that. The Brute will kill it. We don't need to help him. All right, should we make an attack? I guess we technically should, because a +2, which we have 2 of, does change something. All right, so we're actually going to save. We're not going to use Flashing Burst to attack. The reason for, first of all, we don't want to kill the Sun Demon. We'd rather let the Brute kill it. Also, by saving our move 4, we can actually move to here to get the coin, which then means the Brute can move next to us, and then we'll be able to heal the Brute next turn while also being closer to the door, and again, getting a coin. So yeah, we're going to attack with Cold Fire. The reason for this is because there's still 2 cards in our deck which actually do contribute to making sure that the Sun Demon dies. So we'll make an attack 1. Using Cold Fire on the Sun Demon, +1, so be it. So no damage, and then we're going to use the bottom Flashing Burst as a move 4. We're just going to move 3 directly onto this coin here. The other coin will unfortunately be forfeit in this room. Okay, then the Brute goes and is going to make an attack 5, gaining 1 experience, targeting the Sun Demon. Okay, well, that's good. Oops, yeah, let's remember this first. So we did get our first monster kill of this scenario. And the Elite Sun Demon is dead. And we're going to just do a generic move 2 to here with the bottom of Spare Dagger. And Sun Demon's eliminated. End the round. Alright. Well, I think still it is going to actually be... I think I do prefer healing the Brute for 3 rather than setting up for the Falling Room. So let's do it like that. Brute's going to create wind for when we enter the Falling Room. So we'd like to have wind, and I guess our biggest movement, so we can just get rid of Balance Measure. And the Cragheart is going to do a big heal on the Brute. It also sets up Earth, so I guess maybe an Earth Consumer, although we know that that's going to be not good in the next room. And how much do we need to move? I guess the Brute can move all the way to there, so the Cragheart can be 1 behind. Create a little single file line. So the Cragheart only needs to move to 2. Well, it's we're not going to be using Nature's Lift in the beginning of the fighting in the next room. There's no way that's happening. Nature's Lift is an in-between rooms thing unless we're in a bad spot, and at this point we're not going to be a bad spot because everyone's going to be at full health. So we can just play this as a throwaway to keep more actual useful cards, although admittedly, most of these cards are not very useful. Massive Bolt are either half as useful. These are just moves. Sentient Growth is not going to be good against the Wind Demons in the next room, although it can be fine against the Night Demons, I suppose. All right. So let's do this. The Spellweaver goes first. We're just going to do a heal 3 range 1 on the bottom of Mana Bolt, healing the Brute for 3. Going up to 14. And then we're gonna recover all lost cards with reviving. No, we're done. We're not gonna do anything with the top reviving Ether. Then the Cragheart goes, is going to create Earth and do a heal 4 on the Brute. Rumbling Advance is a very nice card. And then we're gonna use the bottom of Nature's Lift as a generic move 2, moving to here. And then the Brute goes and is gonna do a move 3 jump with the bottom of Leaping Cleave, moving to here and creating Wind. Ooh. No, creating Wind isn't a problem as long as he's the one who goes first. Because we will be facing Wind Demons in this room, but as long as he goes before them, it doesn't matter. And if he opens the door, he de facto has to go before them. All right, short rest with the Spellweaver. Please be kind. All right, that's fine. That is more than fine. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would be very happy to have Flame Strike against actually pretty much all of their enemies in this room. Night Demons have a lot of health. Wind Demons have a lot of effective health because of the shield. So Flame Strike, I would definitely rather have kept that. But still, like, most important to me is not losing, I guess, like these 3, followed by this. I guess these 4. So really one of these would be better to lose, but this was fine. Okay. So McCraggikins needs to move into the room, make an attack. Well, we've got a wide variety of initiatives to choose from here, spanning the range from 77 to 87. Huh. Well, unfortunately, even though we're going to have Earth, I know Dirt Tornado sucks, so I guess we'll just go and attack with Massive Boulder, and we'll wait to attack with Sentient Growth the following turn. We also still have the Earth next turn for Dirt Tornado if we want. Okay. So for us, it's going to be this. Pretty much our combo anytime we enter a room. We're going to do a big move, creating ice, and we're going to make an attack 4 range 3, creating fire, so that we can do cold fire the following turn. Feels good to finally enable the combo. Admittedly, the combo's not going to be great in this room. Again, I'm not 100% whether the 3 or 4 enemies. I believe there were 4 enemies. I believe 2 Night Demons, 2 Wind Demons. Excuse me. But basically, I mean, it's going to be hard to hit the Wind Demons with cold fire, but we should be able to hit the 2 Night Demons with cold fire. And I think the Night Demons actually are probably a higher priority target anyway, because they just hit for so much more damage, 5 and 6 rather than 3 and 4, and they're actually easier to kill as well. 9 HP with 2 shield versus 11 HP disadvantage. Yeah, it's not even close. All right, so Brutes first. We're going to do a move forward jump with the bottom of Fatal Advance. We're deleting the doors this time for sure, because we're beating the scenario this time. All right, let's set up this room, shall we? Ah, the Night Demons are close. I thought the Wind Demons were close. I guess it's because I was used to going from the other way. I mean, I came the other way last time, so that's what I was thinking. All right, so this is actually good. This means we're going to be able to be doing more effective attacks. Nice. All right, so both those have 9 health, and then we've got 2 Night Demons. Oh, pulled out the Elite. I'm sure he's still full health as well. No, he's not. I guess we just set his health incorrectly last time, though, if I had to guess. Okay. Let's flip for him. Oh, and demons aren't even moving. That's nice. And they're going to consume our Earth, but we actually really don't care about that. Them losing range also doesn't really matter too much, but, well, it's something. Oh, Night Demons +1 attack, though. They are not messing around, coming in guns blazing. So it sucks a little bit because in the end, Skewer will have been worse now than an attack 5, but we did kind of expect that the enemies would be... I mean, for some reason, I really thought the Wind Demons were close. It doesn't really make sense to put the ranged enemies close and the melee enemies further, but yeah, at the same time, sometimes you got to keep people on their toes. All right, so we have 3 more movement. How do we want to use it? I guess we actually just want to go to here. No, we need to actually go to here. It's so annoying when we have to play around the ambiguity stuff. Papu's hit that other door. Nice. All right, so basically we need to get them so that they clump up for cold fire. So if we, for example, go here, again, it's the ambiguity issue. And since I don't want to have to take advantage of it, I'd rather just put myself in a spot where I don't have to worry about it. So, because if I go here, then this one could go here or here, and here, cold fire, yes, here, cold fire, no. Same thing if we go hit this here, it could be here or here. If we go hit this here, it can be, well, I guess there it's fine then. So we either need to go here and hit this one. We don't want to go further into the room to make it easier for the wind demons. We can go here and hit this one like this, or we can go here and hit this one like this. I actually prefer hitting the regular first rather than the elite. The regular hits for only 1 less damage, but has 6 less health. So the damage to health ratio is actually, I mean, it does more damage per HP on the regular night demon than the elite. So for that reason, we will hit the regular. So we will use the wind, gain 1 experience, and make an attack for Pierce 1. The Pierce doesn't matter. With disadvantage because it's a night demon. So that's how it's gonna be, huh? Alright. Alright. I guess that's what I get for saying that wind demons are harder to kill than night demons. Alright, the wind demons consume the earth and do nothing. Then it is the Spellweaver's turn. So the Spellweaver is going to... Yeah, it'll be here and here. From there, we're fine. All right. So we're going to do a move to jump with the bottom of Reviving Ether, and we're going to create ice. If only you could add sounds. And then we're going to use the top of Engulf in Flame to create fire and make an attack for range 3, targeting the regular Night Demon again. With disadvantage still. Alright. So 4 damage, he's down to 7. Now I'll have a look at your link real quick. Nice. Alright. And then we're done there. Next up are the Night Demons. There's no dark for them to consume. They have -1 movement, but they're both easily going to make it to the Brute. Ugh, glad we healed them back up to full for sure, because this is going to be some painful attacking. A 7 and then a 6. 7? So that's 6 damage. And then a 6. Can we see a miss? Alright, so 5. And just like that, we're down to 7 health. Fortunately, we've got Cold Fire. Alright, and just like that, we're going to be down to 6 health, actually. So now the Cragheart goes. Do I still want to keep hitting the regular? Because if I'm going to Cold Fire it, I'm going to get a stun on it, and I think I'd rather try to Leaping Cleave the two of them. So I'd rather kind of spread damage at this point. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do a move to here with the Cragheart, using the bottom of Black of Ammo. And then I'm going to use the top of Massive Boulder, create an Earth, and do an attack 3, range 3 with 1 splash. So we're going to get 1 splash on this one always, and the Brute is also going to take 1 splash damage. And we're going to get an attack 3 with disadvantage on the Elite Night Demon. Oops, down here. Beautiful. Okay, and we're done. The Cragheart kind of wishes he could go a little bit earlier here, but he cannot, so he'll be playing his 2 cards and going the earliest possible. Speaking of going early, Spellweaver is going to make sure she goes before those Night Demons. They do have 1 card that can still go faster than this, but we're going to hope they don't get it, and stun both of them. And like I said, AoE does look pretty good here for the Brute, but he'll have to do a short rest first. It's one of our 2 move 4s, which are pretty important for this scenario. Yeah, I will remember. I don't think it's necessary to use the axe here, though. So this is at 6 health. It's going to go down to theoretically 3 health with Cold Fire. And then the Brute has free, so 3 health, I don't really need to use the axe to kill it, right? But even just this alone, I'm already doing 2 damage to it. We're going to stun it no matter what, so it doesn't actually matter if we kill it. So I mean, Leaping Cleave is going to kill it. I think it's better to just use Leaping Cleave and save the axe. Admittedly, like I understand the axe isn't going to be super valuable against the boss later on, but it can actually be quite valuable against those two wind demons later on in this room. And right now, it just doesn't seem necessary against the night demons. So the real question is whether we can actually afford to lose Fatal Advance or not. It's one of our biggest movement. Big movement is actually significant for a number of reasons here, because we'll actually need to move a lot in order to be able to keep up with the altar. That being said, there are just too many cards that I could lose that'd be more important, like Devastating Hack. I mean, even Hook and Chain is actually better than Fatal Advance for this scenario. Alright, so like I said, Leaping Cleave is really good here because we've got the 2 targets to hit, and we're going to use... This is interesting, we can use Spare Dagger or Skirmishing Maneuver, actually, to attack the elite. I guess it's better to just use Skirmishing Maneuver rather than the bottom of Spare Dagger. So bottom of Spare Dagger is an attack 2, Skirmishing Maneuver is an attack 3. It being ranged doesn't matter because we have disadvantage on them no matter what, so we get 1 more experience and 1 more attack here. And we keep a slightly better initiative, which is basically... It's not like the top of this is going to be any better against the Wind Demons. The bottom is okay against them, but not really that much better. Alright, let's go. Oh, we have no wind, so that's good. And the Night Demons are doing this stuff, which normally, actually, well, here would be really scary, but they're going to be stuns. That doesn't matter so much. Okay, so Spellweaver first. We're going to consume ice and fire using cold fire, making an attack 3 stun on both the demons there. Just gonna put the stuns now. We're also going to use our goggles for this because we'll certainly have a chance to long rest before the boss fight, and 2 targets is the best we're going to be getting at any point in this scenario. I mean, prior to, I guess, theoretically using fire orbs maybe against the wind demons or something like that, but yeah, I think this is definitely worth doing here. So this gives us attack 3, no disadvantage against both 3 and 4. We'll do them in that order. Okay. Okay, nice. So 3 damage here and 4 damage here. And we're done. Next up is the Cragheart. We're going to begin with Leaping Cleave, gain 1 experience, make attack 3 advantage of both of them. We'll do the same order, 3 then 4. Okay, 3 is dead. And 4 takes 1 damage. Ah, and we killed another enemy. That's nice. Alright, and then we're going to use the bottom skirmishing maneuver, gaining 1 more experience, and make an attack 3 with disadvantage still against the elite. Okay, so 3 damage. The muddle is ignored. Not that it matters, he's stunned anyway. Beautiful. Okay, Night Demons go, lose their stun. Ah, we were supposed to move with the Spellweaver. I mean, this doesn't change anything. We wouldn't have been able to move to here to pick up the coin because it would still be dead. But I did need to pay attention to this, which is what I planned on doing. Yeah. No, it can't actually... Could they? Because if I don't need to move, then I don't need to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Expand. Or expand. No, it can't hit the Spellweaver, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so I guess there's... Well, there is still a reason to move. Is this a reshuffle? No, it's not. No, I guess we don't need to move then. We can just stay where we are, since we didn't do it anyway. And unfortunately, the heal can only be used on us or the Cragheart, but neither of us are injured. I couldn't go up further, though, last turn because there was a Night Demon there, and I didn't have enough movement to get past. Alright, so the Wind Demons go. So they have 4 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so both are going to focus the Cragheart, which is good, actually. Because the Brute can't take the hits there. 2, 3, 4. There's, again, no way to hit multiple targets. So it's just going to be, oh. No, but it still gets to hit the Brute, or the Cragheart from there. 2, 3, 4. Alright. So each of these will be an attack 3 on the Cragheart. 4 damage, take it. 3 damage, take it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, well, we've taken a lot of damage in this room. We're going to have a lot of healing to do. No doubt about that. Okay, so then the Cragheart gets to go. So, It's an interesting choice here. I guess it's not that close, probably. So we can either use Sentient Growth top, Dirt Tornado bottom, or Sentient Growth bottom, Dirt Tornado top. So the advantage using, so if Sentient Growth is used, we're going to hit this for 2, we're going to heal the Brute for 2, and then we'll just move, right? Whereas if Sentient Growth bottom is used, we get to hit this for 1, heal the Brute for 1, so we get 1 less healing, 1 less hit on this, but then we'll actually use Dirt Tornado on this as well, which is going to be an attack 2, and Muddle, although hopefully it's not going to ever attack, so the Muddle shouldn't matter so much. But, so we get 1 more damage on this, plus Muddle. We also get a Muddle on this, but in exchange we get 1 less healing on the Brute. We also get 1 more attack 1 on this, so that's pretty garbage. I think 1 more damage on this, Muddle on this at the very least, meaning something, this not really meaning anything, well hopefully not, is more valuable than the 1 more health on the Brute right now. So yeah, let's do that. Let's use the bottom, well I guess we can use the top of Dirt Tornado first, because yeah, if we're going to end up here, which is the only place we really can't, I mean we could like theoretically use our boots, but I don't think it's worth using our boots just to lose disadvantage on one of these, especially for an attack that's so useless anyway. I guess then the question is, should I even try to hit the... This is actually... Oh no, yeah, because I want to muddle it. All right, so we're going to consume the earth. We're going to gain 1 experience. We're going to use the top of Dirt Tornado, and we're going to hit 4 and 4. Night Demon and then Wind Demon in that order. Both are disadvantaged attacks. Wow. Well, that's nice on the Night Demon. So that's 4. Yeah, our 2 is doubled to a 4 or added +2. Either way, we get +2. That's about the best draw I've ever seen in Gloomhaven on TTS. So we put that down to 3. And then on the Wind Demon, it is literally now impossible to deal damage to it. But we still have to flip. Well, at least we got rid of that as well. Although I guess it didn't matter. You're right. Oh, no. Oh, alright. You're right. Can't get the coin. His perks are so bad, though. Do I not value a coin more than his crappy perks? No, you're probably right. You're probably right. But it's using, I mean, if we're gonna long rest at some point anyway. Yeah, all right, let's just use the boots then, I guess. This is the best way to do this. All right, we'll use the boots. Is this gonna take us too far from the things we need to hit? No, not really. So we'll go 1, 2, 3 to here with the bottom of Sentient Growth. So we get 1 heal on the Brute. And we get an attack 1 on the Night Demon, also disadvantaged. All right, 1 damage down to 2. Well, like I said, I mean, all right, that perk is garbage, but with eventually we will have the bottom of Blunt Force enhanced with Strengthen, and at that point that perk becomes better. I mean, it's still not a great perk, but it is better than it otherwise would be. Okay. So we want to go as early as possible for the Brute to finish off this Night Demon before it can cause problems. We need to save probably our... Well, is it better to have someone else finish off the Night Demon? Except, yeah, that's not really possible. We're going to do these 2 cards, actually, I think. Well, the shield actually... I mean, there's a decent chance at 26 that we could go before the Wind Demons, and then the shield can actually be helpful as well. Alright, short rest for the Cragheart, for sure. Alright. I don't love losing Heaving Swing, but... is what it is. Oh yeah, we're finishing off the Night Demon. The Demon has 2 health, right? Yeah, okay. Turns out Rock Slide is a pretty good card. God, I love this card. So I can't imagine anyone ever wanting to retire the Cragheart at level 3 or 4. Not getting to play with Rock Slide? Are you crazy? Alright, so we're going to go as early as possible. Again, the Night Demon can go before us, which would suck. In that case, for the Cragheart, what's the plan? Oh, this was supposed to be muddled. I think God, the worst thing is in my head, I believe the Night Demons actually do have an 11 initiative card. I think so. I'm not 100% though, but I think they do. Ugh, that would be so punishing if they do. Because if they have 11 initiative, then I need to actually do this 10 in order to be able to stop that night demon from attacking. Because I can't take that night demon attack. But if they don't, then it doesn't really matter. Because I mean, if they're don't have initiative, which is uh 10 through 12, then it doesn't actually matter that the brute goes earlier. But I think it's still better to just have the brute go earlier. We can just disarm one of the wind demons. Worst case scenario. Otherwise, I'd like to try to doing, yeah, I guess like this attack against it. This way we're prepared either way. If somehow the Night Demon goes between with an initiative of 10 to 12, then we can just try to do it. We can provoke and roar it ourselves. And if not, then we can go hit one of the Wind Demons with Trample, and the Cragheart will take care of the Night Demon. All right, this works. 2, 4. Oh God. Well, we're losing a card. We're losing so many cards. It's the best initiative we could have, too. Literally, neither of us could beat this initiative. Okay. Okay. This was the downside of, I guess, of having the brute go first. Although these would always focus the brute anyway, so it still made sense to have him go first between the two. Fortunately, now the night demon hits him as well. All right. So there's no elements to consume. They shield up one more, and they make attack 2s on the brute. So no damage, 2 damage. Yeah, we've got to get a -1 or lower to not have to lose cards here. Maybe we should use our healing potion. I didn't foresee this room becoming that difficult. I mean, we're kind of like past the hard point once we kill this night demon here, right? It just sucks that, as it turns out, they both went before our 10 and 13 here on the same turn. Oh well, we've been pretty fortunate so far. Can't complain too much. Dark created. Night demon attacks the brute. Please -1? No. All right. So that isn't, in fact, an attack 5, and the brute has exactly 5 health. This means we lose a card. Yeah, I think it's got to be Spare Dagger. Oops, not Skewer. Spare Dagger is a bottom attack, but we also have Skirmishing Maneuver as a bottom attack. And as we've established, attack 3 disadvantage is better than attack 2. And it's very unlikely that we're going to have more than one turn for the rest of the scenario where we can attack the altar with a bottom and top attack, where we don't have to move. Otherwise, we want to keep a big move. Skewer can actually be our biggest move to set up an attack 8 on the altar at some point with, loss. And Balance Measure is obviously a big attack. This is our only remaining move 4, and this is our biggest generic attack. Ah, the Night Demon is muddled. You're right. I messed up the Wind Demons, though. So, because the first Wind Demon was actually muddled, so he actually would have drawn these two. Yeah, and I just forgot. And then the second Wind Demon would have drawn this. So that was still the same. Ah, good catch. Thank you very much. I got to restart my chat again, because the thing's not working. Give me a second. Good catch, DCO. Okay, let's go. So now the Night Demon makes his muddled attack on the Brute. Oh, thank God. Oh, that's such a big deal. Brute's down to 1. Not losing a card. Muddle being amazing. Alright, so now the Brute goes. Well, now the Night Demon's for sure going to die to Rock Slide, so we don't need to help with that at all. Oops. Well, alright. Now let's just see what number we deleted there. It's better to do this properly. 2, 5, 1, 3, 6. So 4. So it was 4 and 6 were the numbers. Yeah. Okay. Alright. No, this is why he is number 4. He has 9 health. Alright. So that's good now, I think. Delete these extra Wind Demons. We don't need. Alright. So what we'll do is we'll use the bottom of Provoking Roar as a generic move 2, going to the coin. I think we will use a Ham and a Potion charge here as well, because this will give us an extra turn and give us a 10 initiative next turn, or the possibility to disarm one of them, etc. Which is overall many valuable things. So Ham and a Potion charge Get back Provoking Roar as a generic move too. I guess I mean, don't get me wrong, I still consider that Stamina Potions are a vastly improved fix over Stamina Potions, but they do make low initiative cards even better. Now, what's interesting is they actually make low initiative loss cards or double loss cards or loss on bottom cards more than anything, but also double loss cards better, which is a good thing because double loss cards are quite bad to begin with. So having a low initiative double loss is actually quite nice with the Stamina Potion. Oh, to use the axe to. Oh, yeah, you're right. I can do that. Good catch. Oh, let me finish this point. But anyway, this is the one downside, though, is that they do seem to make low initiative cards in general much better. Like, because generally, I always find myself. I mean, you use the low initiative move too, and then you Stamina Potion it back, which has been consistent for the Cragheart, but also for the Brood. It is only an attack 4, though, right? Not an attack 5, because they have shield 3 here. The go here. So there are a couple things about this. Not sure that it is better. All right, so the axe can still, for the record, be useful. While how useful can it really be though? While fighting the altar, because the monsters do spawn next to the altar, so we can't always use the axe to hit the spawn monster and the altar. The question is, does the damage on the spawn monster really ever matter much? It can. It's not super likely to. The biggest problem with this plan though is that it's actually, I think, it can't be worth it though, right? This is the only place we can axe both of them. Correct? All right, so let's put ourselves back here. So going to here is the only place we can axe both of them, but if we do that, the Cragheart can't actually hit the bottom one with Rock Slide, because the Brute's at 1 life. Now we can use our Healing Potion, but I really, really want to save the Healing Potion for when we're actually fighting the boss. I mean, we saw how much damage he did. Having the Healing Potion is going to be really valuable. I've got so much healing between everyone that I'm just going to try to not have the Brute take any more damage here, and then heal everyone back up to full before fighting the boss. And if we go here, we get, again, an attack 4 effectively, because they have 1 extra shield. I mean, they have 3 shield, we make an attack 3 pierce 2, which should effectively be 2 damage. But so our attack does 2 damage here, but then we can't place a rock here anymore, or we have to use the healing potion to place a rock here. So we'd be using boots, which don't really matter much, but we'd more significantly be using axe and healing potion than just to get 2 more damage here, which I don't think is worth it. Otherwise, yeah, because there's no place if we go here, there's no place we can place a rock. This was the place we plan on placing a rock to affect both of them. Okay, so yeah, I think I prefer doing this still, but it is a good call. So generic move to there, and then we're going to attack with Trample, attack 3, pierce 2 on Wind Demon number 4. Come on. Oh, God. All right, so we're done. Cragheart's turn. Create Earth, gain 1 experience, drop rocks. Rock here. Rock here. We don't have Heaving Swing anymore, so placing rocks to hit stuff with in the future doesn't really matter much. But I guess blocking these monsters off that are going to come through here does actually accomplish something. But we'll also be blocking ourselves off. Yeah, I don't want to do that so much right now. The point is, if I create a rock here as well, when the when the altar jumps up to here and the monsters start coming through, it'll take them longer to get to us. But they're Earth Demons anyway; they're quite slow, and this will actually make it more difficult for us to get through here, which doesn't matter to me so much after we finish the room, but actually in the meantime is quite annoying because it makes it harder for us to get to the other side and hit the Wind Demons. So I think I'll just drop the other obstacle here, or here. Okay, so this dies. And these each take 2. And then we have a generic move. Oh, why is it that there are always coins when we can't pick any up? Is there a downside to moving up here? I don't think so. No, we need to be in a position to tank the attacks on the Cragheart, although we don't have that much more health, but still. So we'll just use the bottom of Unstable People to move up there. Hammer Potion here doesn't give us a turn, and I'm not sure that I care about the initiative that much. We're not that close to killing them, and I don't have any CC. And then the Spellweaver goes. So I'm actually just going to do a move 4 with the bottom Flashing Burst and grab this coin because Scoundrel Weaver. And then we're going to actually just use the top of Elemental Aid, since at this point, I mean, I could do an attack 3, but attack 3 on something with 2 shield when my modifier deck's not even that good just really isn't that valuable to me. I actually care more about getting the 5 healing here. So we'll consume the earth, gain 1 experience, and do a heal 5 on the brute. There's an argument for considering the Cragheart, because if we just make the Cragheart keep going before the brute, then the brute shouldn't get attacked, and then the health on the Cragheart will matter more in the short term. But the reason to actually do this is because the Wind Demons can do multiple target. All right. Downside of moving all the way to the coin is we can't Hammer a Potion, but we don't really want to Hammer a Potion these cards anyway, so. All right, short rest. Oh no, that's pretty valuable. That's extremely valuable actually right now. It's probably actually could very well be the best card in our deck in this current situation. Because it gives us good initiative and a bottom heal while we don't need to move. Oh well. And we still got the combo, so that's what we're gonna do. And what are we going to do? Yeah, massive boulder. And a bottom heal, probably. Yeah. And the brute. Oh yeah, we used the charm before. So why don't we have Leaping Cleave still? Do we disarm one of them then? I think that seems fine. We don't have skirmishing maneuver either? Yeah, we used that before. I guess that's the downside, is now I kind of would prefer to have skirmishing maneuver here. Oh well, we'll just do this. I mean, disarming one of them just stops incoming damage. The brute can damage them, but for now I would rather CC them while we're dealing damage to them. And then, I mean, all right. What I mean is we have essentially 1 big attack, 2 theoretically big attacks, but right now, even if we do an attack 6 on this, this is still only going to do 4 effective damage, and we're not going to deal that much damage with our other characters this turn. So I would rather just prioritize CCing it now and then do the big attacks in the next 1 and 2 turns to actually kill them, because then we're eliminating more enemy attacks. On top of that, the Spellweaver will get to stun both of them next turn, although it unfortunately not very early because we lost Mana Bolt. But so if we can CC one of them now and then have 2 of them CC the following turn, again, they have good initiative, so it's not guaranteed that we're going to stop them from going, but it still does provide us a lot more possibility of negating enemy attacks. Yeah, this mistake again. 43. All right, well, we actually needed them to go late next turn, not this turn. And there's the multi-target, although that one requires wind. Maybe they only multi-target with wind, I'm not sure. All right, anywho, brute goes first. Oh yeah, we didn't want the brute to go first, though, because of getting targeted. Well, I mean, I guess this is fine because there's only one of them that's going to attack anyway, and we're going to do a heal. And we could have moved back, but we kind of forgot about that. I guess we're counting also on 10 just getting a disarm before they go, so I think it's kind of okay. Okay, attack 2, disarm, targeting number 4. I mean, it's an attack 2 against something with 2 shields, so I don't have high expectations. But we've made like 6 attacks this scenario and flipped 3 nulls on the brute. All right. And then I guess, we're going to use the bottom of Spare Dagger. It's just free. If we get a +1 or better, it still does damage. So an attack 2 on the bottom of Spare Dagger. No, couldn't even try to get something with that. All right. Oh, we do get the disarm. Definitely better to be using low damage CC attacks than high damage attacks when you're not actually hitting anyone. Okay.
So the Cragheart's going to create Earth with Massive Boulder and make an attack 3, range 3, targeting number 6. This way, obviously we attack this one, we have disadvantage and it splashes the Brute. This one, same amount of damage, no ally damage, and no disadvantage. So attacking number 6 with an attack 3 from Massive Boulder. Okay. So the other people are making up for the Brute's shortcomings. So 5, 2 is blocked by shield, so that's 3 actual damage, and then 1 direct damage here from the splash. And we created an Earth already, and then we're going to use the bottom of Earth and Claw to do a heal 2, range 3 on the Brute, putting him up to 18. Okay. And then the Wind Demons go. The front one is disarmed, so it just stays where it is. And then the back one is going to attack the Brute. It is an attack +1, so an attack 4. Okay, -1. Brute has no defensive items left, so 3 damage. Then the Spellweaver goes, is going to make an attack 4, range 3 with Engulf. I still think we kind of want to split damage. No, we don't care that much about splitting, actually. We don't really have much other AoE. I mean, we're going to Cold Fire next turn, but even if we get like 2 damage here, then the Cold Fire does 2 damage, it still just kills it. Even though that makes the stun redundant, it's still better because we don't have such an easy way to kill them with AoE anyway. So yeah, we'll use Engulf actually to attack the back one, number 6, on the chance that we can potentially kill it. It doesn't really change anything, but again, we can potentially kill it with Engulf. Should we use our piercing? No, I mean, sorry, with Cold Fire. Should we? We actually. Man, losing Mana Bolt's so painful here. It brings up a very tough question. So, the question is whether we should try to use Stun Powder or not to stun this back one to make the Brute completely safe. But like I said, we should be able to protect the Brute just by going earlier with the Cragheart, which we can do this time pretty easily. We can do like the 21 or something. Because the Wind Demons can go at 21 very easily. I think they have 221 reshuffles actually, so it's about 50% chance that they do that. And in this case, unfortunately, the Spellweaver is not going to stun them before they go. But now I prefer to save Stun Powder for the boss fight. Obviously, I can't stun the boss, but I can use Fire Orbs and then stun multiple, or well, not multiple, but stun one, one of the spawned enemies to give us a turn of being able to ignore it if it's a high value one or high threat one. For example, if we get unlucky and we do summon or spawn summon an Elite Wind Demon or something like that. All right, so yeah, we'll use Engulf. We won't use any items. Should we use the piercing bow? I guess with that we could kill it, but then this also makes better just save this for Cold Fire as well. All right, attack 4 on number 6. Okay, well, definitely didn't need to use anything. Yeah, our party is really basically even Steven. The Spellweaver is flipping extremely well, Cragheart's flipping quite well, and the Brute's flipping horrendously. Balance on all things. So Cold Fire is going to be a bit redundant now, but we're obviously not complaining about that. And then we have a move 4 jump with Reviving Ether. What's that? Scoundrel Weaver? You rang? And we're going to create ice with Reviving Ether. Okay, so unfortunately we don't have the most ideal initiative. We're still going to do this because it's still an attack 3 stun, which is amazing. Cold Fire is a good card. Yeah, like I said, this is fine to do to make sure we can go before the Brute. All our attacks kind of suck against this thing now. I guess if we end up going before it, then Sentient Growth is a way of getting a heal on the Brute. Because we have this and this as top heals afterwards, but we're really going to want all the healing we can. And with Sentient Growth, we can hit it for an attack 2, which maybe does something, maybe not, and also get a heal 2 on the Brute. Admittedly, the bottom of Sentient Growth can be a heal 1, but this is just more valuable healing on the top. We just get 1 more total healing this way, and it's not like we're going to have more healing actions than we will have top actions before the next rest, because we have exactly 2 more. I guess there's an argument for wanting to set up backup ammo, but backup ammo is not even very good in this fight, and we want to move 3s. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So I guess we want to save our biggest move for the Brute to go towards the next room. So I guess we can just kind of move a little bit with Skewer and use Unstoppable Charges in attack 3. We're still going after the Cragheart, but maybe we still go before the enemy. Doesn't hurt to go earlier here because he's going to be stunned before this anyway. 29. All right, that's nice. So the Cragheart's going to go. He's going to gain 1 experience from using Blunt Force as a move 2. Just going to move like this. If Retaliate 1, this doesn't matter too much. Then we're going to use Sentient Growth as an attack 2. which also hits the brute with a heal 2. So the attack 2 on the Wind Demon. Okay, 1 damage, respectable. Every little point counts. And then we get heal 2 on the brute. Next up is the Spellweaver. We need to move away as well. Do we have an odd number? No, we have an even number, so no point in Hammer Potioning here. How far can we move, actually? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, we can actually use all the movement. So we'll use the 4 movement on the bottom of Flashing Burst to go all the way to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to use the top of Cold Fire because we can go 1, 2, 3 and expand like this, or expand like this, whichever. Consuming the ice and the fire, and do an attack 3, range 3, stun. It just doesn't seem necessary to use the piercing bow. I'm not sure it's going to get better than this. How necessary is it? So let's see, this is an attack 3. So this should do 1 damage, putting it down to 4. And then Unstoppable Charge does 3 damage, putting it down to 1. I guess then we don't really have a convenient attack next turn to actually finish it, because the brute does kind of want to keep moving. I guess the brute can also move to the coin after killing it, which is not bad either, because we have the time. All right. I mean, this is so tough, right? If we end up spawning an elite Wind Demon, we actually will have to kill it, so I will really need the piercing bow. No, I guess I shouldn't use it then. Oh, it so feels bad. Just the piercing bow does provide a fair amount of value here, and it's valuable value too, right? I mean, it does still help us to kill this at least 1 turn earlier, or to make it more convenient to keep moving while killing this, to use it here. But like I said, if we end up getting an elite Wind Demon, it's not just an enemy we can ignore, because it negates at least 1/3 of our damage every turn by it being around with its disarm. Elite Wind Demons are a huge pain in the ass. So I think we just can't run the risk of using the piercing bow, just because we'll need both our piercing bows to take that elite Wind Demon down if that's what gets spawned. And it's not like you can just run from it either. I mean, it's got 5 movement, 4 range. Like, yeah. All right, so we won't use any items then. Okay, 1 damage. And a stun. I mean, the brute's due for a crit right about now anyway, right? Alright, Wind Demon goes, the stun does nothing. There is the 2 target. Yeah, it does not require wind. I was not wrong. Okay, and then we gain 1 experience and make an attack 5 with Unstoppable Charge. Nothing special to use here, I think. Could we use the stun powder to be safe? Yeah, I think we actually can. So the stun powder is valuable in the Spellweaver because the Spellweaver can do something like Fire Orbs to hit the altar and hit like an elite Wind Demon or a high risk enemy in the future. But the Cragheart is less, or the Brute is less likely to hit multiple targets. Now we do still have the Battle Axe, which can do something to that regards, but I mean, the problem is we don't have early initiative next turn to kill it before it goes. At best, we're doing 29, but then the Cragheart's not even attacking. We're going at 42. So by stunning it, we just eliminate it from. We don't need to worry about it next turn, which makes a big difference since we're unlikely to kill it here. Yeah, let's use the stun powder. So attack 5 stun. All right, +1. So 6, so 4 damage. Oh. I miscounted. Oh well. I mean, at the same time, based on the way he was flipping before, I wasn't really going to count on getting a +1. So, let's be real. All right, that's fine. So we did end up killing it. We wasted our stun powder there, but that's okay. It was a nice insurance measure, especially based on our flips thus far. And we're going to use Skewer, and we're just going to move to here. We lose 1 movement this way, but obviously getting a coin is, I would say, worth losing 1 movement. Okay, and we're done. So we want to go after the Cragheart, so the Cragheart can create Earth for us with Rumbling Advance, and we can use Elemental Aid to do a big heal. And we're always going to play one of these two, because we're going to play the other with the Nature's Lift. And us, we're moving. All right, this looks good. So we're already in range to heal the Brute or heal ourselves easily enough. Both of us missing a similar amount of health. All I ever wanted to do in this scenario was take the long way around and hook and chain plus balance measure plus boots that guy as I open the door. But it doesn't work. Because, well, I mean, you could, but it wouldn't be very satisfying, right? Because you can't take damage. The boss is here, the altar is here. The boss is immune to damage. Unless you're talking like a very advanced set of boots. In which case that could work, but okay. So yeah, if he moves first, yeah, there's no problems. Okay, let's do it. I knew it. I was just thinking it too. Darn it. It's like I'm sure I've forgotten something. All right. So Cragheart goes first. So how do we distribute the healing most efficiently? So we're gonna have 10 healing this turn in the form of a 4 and a 5, and then we've got 2 target healing 2. So let's just count the 2 target healing 2 on now, because it's always going to be across these two. So if we're at 11, and he's at 9, we're both going to long rest as well. But unfortunately, it's not very efficient then. So it's better to use the heal 4 on ourselves than the heal 5 on him. So if we do a 2, putting him to 9, then a 5 to 14, then the long rest puts him to 16. So he'll be missing 2, and we'll be overhealed a little bit. But I guess that's probably still worth it. Same time, the Brute was the one who took all the hits last time, so is it maybe better to just... So that's one option. If we use the heal 4 and the heal 5 on him, so 9 puts him to 16, the long rest, so then we overheal him for 2, but no, then we're at 13 out of 16. We're missing 3. No, it's better to do it the other way around, slightly more efficient. I think it's all health still matters. Nah, you can't enhance hook and chain movement, which is a shame, because then it would make me like the card a lot better. A lot more, but I suppose it would also probably just be too good then. With the jump. Alright, yeah, we'll heal ourselves then. Oh no. If we heal 4 here, we go up to 13, then we go to 15, and then so we actually overheal for 3. But I'm not wrong, right? If we heal him for 5, 12, yeah, 16. So he's missing 2 rather than missing 3. Yeah, it's still better. I think overall, although it is close. Alright, so we're going to heal ourselves for 4 with Rumbling Advance. Then we're going to use the bottom of Dirt Tornado to do a move 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have already used our boots. Yeah, it's just because we're going to long rest, so I was wondering, but not this turn anyway. And then next up is the Brute, who has a move 4 with Hook and Chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. And nothing with the top. And then the Spellweaver, sorry, I created an Earth with Rumbling Advance. And then the Spellweaver is going to consume that Earth, gaining 1 experience, and do a heal 5 with Elemental Aid, targeting the Brute. Grape, I just recently found your channel and want to say thanks for the content. No problem. Is your name a reference to Wheel of Time, for the record? You would have missed my old videos. Unfortunately, I never saved any of them, but I named, in my previous campaign, almost every character in my party was named after Wheel of Time people. This time, no one, though. Okay, and then we have a move 3. Yeah, I mean, we can just go to here. It's fine, I think. Okay. That's a reasonable way through. Enjoy it while it lasts. Alright, so a little bit of healing here. A little long rest here and here. Oh, the Brute had his boots. Whoops, we could use those. There's no secret information here. Because we're in a long rest anyway, we might as well have moved closer to the door. Wheel of Time is my favorite series as well. I'm actually just finally getting around to starting Mistborn series because I enjoyed how Sanderson finished the Wheel of Time so much. I'm enjoying it a lot. Not as much as Wheel of Time, but it's good still. I've only just finished the first book though, so no spoilers. Alright, so we just do this. We're just going to use the 2 target Nature's Lift. Heal 2 on ourselves. Heal 2 on the Brute. And the rest, long rest. Heal 2. Refresh these. Nothing to heal.
Deciding to get rid of the card. So we still like to take a long rest on the Cragheart because it does refresh our boots, and movement is going to be really important while we're fighting the altar because for a bit we want to keep up with it, and then we want to run away and catch up if it comes back around clockwise. Okay, I'll have to check that out as well. Thank you for the recommendation. And I would agree with you. I think he is an excellent author. I mean, even though I'm only on my second thing that he's written now, I really enjoy his writing style, and I think he's really cool. I appreciate that he's relatively active on Reddit and punks out the Witcher writer when he's out of line, stuff like that. All right, so what are we losing? So, yeah, I think the choice is all, but movement actually matters. Everything matters here to some degree. I mean, this is all the combo, right? Stun doesn't matter so much, but it actually does still. I mean, this combo can still be valuable. Oops. This is the combo. This combo can still be valuable when fighting the altar because we can, I mean, like I said, the summons spawn next to the altar, so being able to stun the summon for the next turn that it acts is actually kind of valuable. I think Fire Orb is actually probably the most reasonable thing to get rid of. This is one of our 2 best movements, so we want to keep that for this. And the heal is actually quite nice when we have to start running. Although I'm not sure how soon that will be. But I guess if we lose Fire Orbs, we can just go a bit longer before we need to play Reviving Ether. It's not a big deal having to use Reviving Ether in mid-combat here either, because of the fact, like I said, we're going to spend some time running while we have to try to, loop back around to catch the altar, to head it off in the pass, basically. So yeah, I think losing Fire Orbs makes the most sense. All right, I'll array her cards after I've done these. As for the Brute, what is he losing? Well, this choice is exceptionally obvious. It is Trample. Although it is a move 4 jump, we've got other ways to spend losses that I think are a little bit more valuable than that. And, well, I mean, by other ways, I mean other way, which is basically Skewer. But we're also just going to end up having to lose cards for damage, which is what we had to do last time. And the Pierce just doesn't matter. Our primary target every time the Brute can attack will be the altar, so it's not like where the top of it matters at all. All right. So they're both done. So now the question is, should this Craggeart long rest? Yeah, I think he should. Like I said, those boots are going to be really valuable. I think losing 1 turn here is worth it. Plus, it's not a turn which is completely lost. The Spellweaver can actually heal the Brute to get him actually all the way up to full. So which card are we throwing away here? I guess we won't need our movement that soon. Yeah, it makes sense to do this. This way we can then play these 2 next turn when we enter the room to hit the altar plus create ice. And that way, by keeping Cold Fire in our hand, even if we get Reviving Ether on the short rest, we can re-roll, and we'll never lose Cold Fire, and we'll still have the combo, at least for that 1 turn, which will work out well, because then it'll be the altar out here with the summon next, or the spawn next, summon next to it. Yep, so this makes sense to use these 2. We'll see which initiative. I guess the initiative doesn't matter because it's a throwaway turn. The Brute, unfortunately, has no setup because we didn't bring Warding Strength, although, again, it didn't really make sense to bring Warding Strength, so we just need to decide the 2 cards that we want the least here. There will be a time for this, but I don't think that time is now. At the same time, Provoking Roar is pretty bad, although it can just allow us to go early to make sure that when we're next to the altar, we still get 1 more attack off before it jumps away. I think that makes sense. Same time, this is a move 3, so we messed up our positioning. We actually need the Spellweaver to move away. I guess that's what we will do so the Brute can be here. Yeah. So we actually, because we don't want to actually have to use our move 4, we'll need to do that when we're chasing after the altar. Similarly with our boots. We don't actually want to balance measure when we enter. We want to use balance measure when we're chasing after it because we have to naturally use more movement to stay with the altar. So move 3 actually works here. So we want this plus this basically the turn we enter. Skirmishing maneuver is maybe not great. It's just not super flexible with the things we want to do. There's too great of a risk. I mean, there's two boss specials, and one of the boss specials is always earlier than skirmishing maneuver. So we're basically, best case scenario, taking a 3 out of 8. I mean, admittedly, this can change a little bit, but most likely taking a 3 out of 8 to try to get some extra attack on the altar, but leaving a very reasonable chance that the altar just gets away from us. So yeah, I think this is actually ultimately just not that valuable against the altar. And again, even if we wanted that sort of effect, Spare Dagger does something very similar. Even though the bottom of Skirmishing Maneuver is slightly better, the top of Spare Dagger can be more useful while chasing after the altar because we can make an actual ranged attack, whereas the top of Skirmishing Maneuver is worse. Okay. Let's go. So we need to move away with the Spellweaver, moving to here. Actually, that's nice. Yeah, we don't have Ham in a potion. Oh man, I wish I'd brought it. I would actually like to Ham in a potion here to get this back, so that we would actually then have this would give us an additional turn. Plus, it gives us with Flashing Burst the actual card we want to play alongside Cold Fire. Oh well. So yeah, we just move there using the bottom Flashing Burst, and then we'll use the top of Elemental Aid to do a heal 3, range 2 on the Brute, putting the Brute back up to full. And we're done. And then the Brute goes, and the Brute is just going to use a bottom generic move going to here. Do we need to Ham in a potion? No, we've got 6 cards, so here we're good. Well, we may end up losing a card, but usually use this Provoking Roar. Alright. Cragheart does his long rest. Again, we did miss out on a backup ammo setup turn, which sucks a little bit, but I don't actually want to use backup ammo. Stop. I want the bottom. For sure. Alright. We need lots of movement for this fight. So all of our cards are somehow applicable, right? Like this can be good if the Brute's next to the altar, because we can hit the Brute plus heal the Brute plus hit the altar. This and this we just need for movement. This is our best ranged attack, while also our biggest movement. I guess Earthing Clod is actually the least useful card. Immobilize doesn't do much, although it can be a form of CC, but and we're going to be moving almost the entire time. So the main reason we have Earthing Clod is for the bottom, and we're not going to be able to use that here. So I guess it makes sense to get rid of that. All right, let's do it. These 2 cards, always. This plus this. The altar jumps to here. Oh no, that's actually, no, it jumps to here. Yeah. Then we can still make it, so we don't actually have to go first on the Brute, although I guess we don't want the Spellweaver to tank the attack. Although the Spellweaver getting hit once is maybe not that big of a deal, but probably still not optimal. And Cragheart. I don't have much. Rock dropping can be useful, but it's not really useful yet. It's probably Massive Boulder. The reason being is that we actually want to try to use Blunt Force pretty early, if we can. Yeah, our deck so far. Just because it's our best attack, so the sooner we can guaranteed get it off, the better. Does the boss fly? Does the boss not fly? That's a very... Oh yeah, I've got the sheet with me. Ha! It's a very interesting point. The boss does not fly. And he is not immune to... Well, actually, let's check the FAQ to see whether he's immune to forced movement or not.
No, yeah, he's not immune to force movement, and he does not fly. So yeah, it is theoretically possible to block him off once all the doors are open. That's interesting. Also, apparently the ordering for the demons is wrong in the book, and it's supposed to start with wind. So yeah, if we start with an elite wind demon as the very first thing, that's so stupid. What? You can literally just spawn an elite wind demon right away, and then just be disarmed for the rest of the scenario? Huh? Well, does everyone here like flipping a coin? Because that's what we're about to do. All right. Yeah, I think Massive Boulder is fine. What for a bottom? And we're gonna let the altar jump. Healing, I mean, keeping the top of Rumbling Advance is valuable. Although the bottom of Rumbling Advance can give us 1 direct damage to the Wind Demon. If it is an elite, I guess we may need this. Probably better to do that than just pray that it's not an elite. The healing will be valuable though while we're running. I think this is probably the right idea though. This can give us 2 direct damage on the elite Wind Demon. Again, if it's an elite. Alright. So hold on. We need to fix this initiative though. There we go. Yes, so you go in first. And I guess the two of them are both basically going to be hitting the altar when it's here. Alright, let's go. So brute first, we're going to do move 3, jump, creating wind. Creating wind is also not good. Fortunately, not really an option here. 1. Alright. Boss time. Let's flip. Special 2. That's regular, isn't it? Oh, thank God. Except normal for... Oh, thank God. Thank you. Oh, we can beat the scenario, maybe. Oh, feels good, man. Feels good. Yeah, the placing obstacles in this room, he has 5 movement, and he gets plus 2 movement, so he has 7 movement basically when he acts, so it would never have worked here. But it's true that once all the doors are open, we can block one thing completely off, which would definitely buy us some time. If we can like move past and then all together and then block it off, that could be quite valuable. Okay. Anywho, the Cragheart still gets to finish his turn, so we got 2 more movement. Yes, and as we established, the altar has 28 health. Yep. 16 times 2, 32. 16 times 3 is 48. All right. Then we're going to use Unstoppable Charge as an attack 5 against the altar. No reason to use anything else here. All right. 6. Nice. Down to 42. Good start. So the altar goes to here. We get to choose where we want to be pushed to. That's not Cragheart. You're talking about getting a good flip, you mean? Uh, I don't know where we actually. I guess getting pushed this way is just better because the altar's eventually gonna go over here, and we'd still like to hit it while it's in this room. It's gonna put the Wind Demon here. Guess we, by choosing where we get pushed, we can also choose where the Wind Demon's gonna go. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was something like that or not. Yeah, I mean the Wind Demon being here, I guess is fine.
Go here, the wind demon will be here, but again, it doesn't really change much. Sure. We'll get pushed that way. And then we need a wind demon, which is summoned. Oh, hold on. We didn't manage, did we? No, we got 3 coins, so we'll never get to 5, basically. We would have to pick up the coin from the boss and this coin. I guess there'll be some enemies in there. We're never killing those enemies, so. All right, and then the boss moves to here, and again, he makes move 7, attack 6 each time, right? Because yeah, move +2, so move 7, attack -1, so attack 6. All right. If anyone's wondering, anyone who showed up today who wasn't here yesterday, wondering why I don't have the sheet here, it's because it's actually bugged in this TTS mod, so I'm just using my physical copy. Okay, so attack 6 on the brute. All right, of course, it would have to be the crit before the miss. I mean, the crit's not such a big deal. It's in itself, it's just a +0 because we have the helmet, but couldn't we just hope to get a miss before a crit? So oops, we have to use one charge of this. I think we'll save our shield for now. It's unlikely we're going to be long resting anytime soon, and we could theoretically get a heal 4 or heal 5. And some other healing. Okay, so then next up is the Spellweaver. So we need to move first because we want to lose disadvantage. Do move 4 jump. By going to here, we'll be able to attack the altar here, but also attack the altar when it jumps to its next spot up here. So yeah, we'll move back to there, creating ice. And then we'll use engulf, creating fire, making an attack 4, range 3, targeting the altar. We're going to save all our items for next turn when we use our cold fire. All right, so here we go on the altar. Ooh, baby. All right, so 8 puts this down to 34. That is a good start. All right, and then well, this is a little unfortunate, huh? Since we're already adjacent to the altar, I should have paid attention that it was going to go to here. We're going to actually make a disadvantage attack with the brute or the Cragheart. Because as we've established, disadvantage attack is worth more. I mean, and then getting 1 more damage. I mean, we could do generic attack, but we definitely want the earth. But since we're going to move next to it and deal 1 direct damage, it's worth it. So yeah, we will make an attack with Massive Boulder, creating earth. Did the beautiful 4 element thing this time again. Nice. So it's an attack 3, which is going to splash 1 to the wind demon no matter what. So attack 3 on the altar with disadvantage. All right, nice. So 4 damage to the altar. So it's down to 30, and it's actually going to be down to 29. And we're going to deal 1 more damage to you. 7. Can we go... Where does it actually go to next? It goes to here. One, two, three, 4. Let me do 1, 2, 3. All right, all right. Ugh, we have to use our boots now. So we'll do that. I'll explain why. So we're going to use our boots plus Rumbling Advance to do a move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which does 1 direct damage, and I've already done the damage. The reason being that the next turn the altar can jump to here, right? So if the altar jumps to here, we need to be able to go to here to hit it. Because our plan next turn is to use... God, and I hope they don't steal my earth. Is to use Blunt Force to punch it, which we go at 21 initiative. But like I said, even at 21 initiative, it's still... well, I mean, I guess he's flipped 1 of them now, but he's still got 2 out of 7 cards that go before us. Admittedly, we can hope to use this as a bottom, I guess. No, it's just too risky. We always have to play move 3 here. This just sucks that we had to do this because we had to use our boots, whereas the boots would be more valuable later on. But if we play this card, which is just so important, I mean, yeah, we can get it back, but we just don't want to... We can't afford to lose any turns while the altar is in, like, our kill zone, right? Once the altar jumps into the next room, we have to spend a fair amount of time just stalling and waiting to get the altar back to somewhere we can kill it. We can't chase it into the next room with all the enemies in there. So we really need to do as much damage as we can now. We can't take a risk of losing a turn of not dealing damage. And Blunt Force is our big attack, so we had to make sure that we can get to a position to be able to do it. And because we can't guaranteed beat the boss's initiative, we need to be able to make sure that even if the altar jumps before us, we can still hit it. But if it spawns a monster here, then we don't get to hit it. So if it jumps, it doesn't actually matter. Okay, so in that case, we can actually stay here and not use our boots. And then we just have to hope that it doesn't jump. Yep. Because if the altar jumps here and then it spawns something, it spawns here or here, correct? But technically, I think it's you're also spawn closest to enemy, but I think in either ambiguity would probably allow either of these, but I always, like in the case of a tiebreaker, put it closer to more enemies. So here would be closer to these people, I mean to the Cragheart and whatever, than here would be. So it makes sense that the enemy will spawn here. So even if I'm here, if it goes before me, it goes there, spawns here. With my move 3, I can't make it. I could go here, but then I don't get the 1 damage on both of them. I think it is, in this case, still just better than to hope to go before them. I'm not even sure that all the special 2s are before 13. I think one of them might actually be after. So I think there's maybe only 1 out of 7 that we go after. I mean, I think this makes more sense. I think it makes more sense to get the guaranteed damage and to go rather than going like this now with the boots. Or I mean, I guess we would just go like this and then wait, no. No, it never works. No, it changes nothing. Because we've already used Massive Boulder. Yeah, we could never hit it. Nope. So yeah, let's give this a try then, and just pray for the best there. All right, what are the rest of our clowns doing? Oh, my cat is attacking my feet. Don't show me. All right, let's show rest. Just not reviving Ether. All right, that's fine. It provides some value, but honestly, I'm not even sure we're gonna have the opportunity to use that at this point. So, cold fire for sure. Yeah, go as early as possible, then have the same combo again. Same combo again isn't necessarily great because, well, the altar's going to be gone anyway. It's overall not great, but we just want to try to go as early as possible to try to get the stun on the Wind Demon before it goes, although we most likely don't get to stun the Wind Demon before it goes because it's most likely going to go at 21 and we can't beat that, but unfortunately we just can't beat that, so we're still just going to do what we can do. All right, and as for the Brute, if the altar jumps, we're in trouble, right? I have 10 initiative. Then we have to use our boots now, but not with balance measure. Otherwise, we've used this, but with boots, we only have 6 movement still. We can never reach it. It goes up here. All right, we've got a lot hanging on him not doing special 2 here. Otherwise, like I said, we can just do an attack 4 by using our boots and using the bottom of Provoking Roar just to get next to the altar. And it's still not even 100% that we go before it. I think there's a single digit special 2. But again, special 2s at this point are 2 out of 7. I think we just have to try to fade the 2 out of 7 and get our best attack here, which allows us to move a fair amount with the altar. And then we can do what's like move 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the following turn we get to go at 10. Well, if it's already jumped, then we won't get to hit it again. No, I guess we will, because we'll be able to do move 2 and then ranged attack. Yeah. This works out overall. I think this is better than short resting early. Because it's a really clean line. Again, a line which can be busted quite easily. But we're just going to cross our fingers and pray to the TTS gods. Okay, TTS. One time, don't do me like this. So I need to get them ready. Yeah, there's the 21, so be it. Oh, no. All right, well, it's good and bad, right? It's good and bad. The Brute's not going to get to attack, so we miss an attack 6, but we do still get the Cragheart's attack because we go before the 14 with the 13. So I was right. There was at least one of these that we went before with 13. All right. The other bad news is, again, this goes before the Spellweaver, so we're not going to stun it. Well, I guess the altar jumps anyway as well, so wouldn't really matter, huh? I guess we're going to stun the thing that spawns when it jumps. All right, so first things first is the Cragheart. So we're going to consume the earth, gain 3 experience with the top of Blunt Force, and make an attack 8. Nothing special to use here, no. On the altar. Alright. I mean, that's bad for sure, but it's still much, 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 much better than getting a miss. So, attack 6 in the end, down to 23. And Blunt Force is lost. And then we have Unstable Upheaval as a bottom. I mean, this is going to end up moving back and pulling us, so there's not really any reason to move. We're actually, by staying still, we move further than if we try to walk around. Yeah. So we'll just stay where we are with this. I mean, we'll move in place so that we can use a Ham and a Potion charge to get back Unstable Upheaval, because having the initiative can be quite valuable. All right. Seems fine. So we're done. So then it is the boss arena. So Alter jumps to here. And so according to the FAQ, what is the second thing spawned? Earth. Okay. Well, it's pretty close. It's another normal. And 17 health. Now let's make sure There we go. All right. So then the boss attacks the Cragheart, or the Brute. -1, so 5. I will just use it all now at this point. So 5 -2, so we take 3. Okay, then the Wind Demon goes. It's going to move away 1 and attack the Cragheart. It creates a new wind. Its attack on the Cragheart is +0, so on attack 3, and it will be pulling. Alright, so 3 damage. Hey Prototype, how are you doing today? And Cragheart gets pulled to there. Will we try to kill the Wind Demon or do nothing? This will be an interesting question, but for now we don't need to answer that. So next up is the Spellweaver. We're going to consume both the fire and ice. We're going to use cold fire. We're going to use the goggles here. We're going to use our power potion. We could get 3 targets in the future with the fire orbs. But at that point, by then we're not going to care about other targets' health anymore anyway. So no. Power potion as well. Alright, so this gives us an attack 4 advantage. We'll be targeting the Earth Demon and the Altar. Prototype, you just showed up. You want to give me an ordering real quick? This does matter a significant amount because I really need to. I mean, dealing damage to the Altar is much more important. So if you can give me like a +2 or a crit on the Altar, that'd be great. So we've got Altar and we've got Earth Demon number 1. It is going better, certainly. We got pretty unlucky here, but we've had some luck as well with flips earlier on, so it's pretty balanced so far. Definitely going better. Earth and Altar. All right, thank you very much. So attack 4 advantage on stun on Earth Demon and then Altar. So Earth Demon first. Definitely happy to see that on the Earth Demon. So that's just 4 damage to him, and he's stunned. And then on the Altar. Okay, nice. Good choice, Prototype. Man, you're pretty good at this. So that's 5 damage to the Altar, down to 18. Altar is also stunned, so it's not going to jump anymore. If only. All right, Altar's down to 18. That's very doable. I mean, it's not as great as if we'd gotten the Brute to be able to attack at once, then we'd be in a really, really good spot. But it means that the next time we see it, we should be able to finish it. I'm glad to hear you've been practicing. It's very important. And then we have a move 4 with the bottom of Flashing Burst. Can we hit the Altar next turn before it goes if we stay here? Yeah, I think we can, so we should stay here. Again, it can jump, but at this point it's only 1 out of 6 for it to jump. I think it is actually worth hanging around. We don't necessarily want to be next to the Wind Demon to get attacked. This doesn't matter so much, I guess. I mean, we'll just move 1 away. This doesn't put us any closer to the door, but it does technically put us 1 further from the Earth Demon, at least for now. Doesn't change much, I think. But again, we have range from here to the Altar anyway, and so I think there's really no reason to be here instead of here. All right, so we'll just move there with the bottom Flashing Burst. And then the Brute goes. So this is an interesting decision now. So you have a move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think so. The question is whether we should actually use our boots. If we don't use our boots, we attack nothing here. If we use our boots, unfortunately because the Cragheart getting pulled here, if we use our boots, then we can actually hit the Wind Demon for 4 damage. I mean, killing this Wind Demon isn't so important, and the boots do represent 2 damage to the altar, which is not insignificant. But we may actually just have the chance to long rest, because the brute's just going to be getting beat on anyway. We're not in a hurry, we just have to wait for the altar to come back at this point. And the other people can do healing while we wait, but the brute actually has no actions that really do anything while waiting. And, I mean, damage on the Wind Demon is not insignificant. If we kill it, that's just 3 less damage that we take per turn, because the Wind Demon will always be on top of us. It also puts us in a position where we can make the ranged attack that we want to on the altar next turn. So yeah, I think this is actually worth doing. So we'll use the move 4 on the bottom of Hook and Chain, plus we'll use our boots. Plus if we're in a long rest anyway, we'll get the boots back. So 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to there, gain 1 experience from Balanced Measure, and make an attack 6 on the Wind Demon. Jeez. Well, better on the Wind Demon than the altar, I suppose. Rather on neither. Brood has not been swinging his axe well today. Should we use the healing potion now? No, I think we have time before we need to worry about that. Alright, so that's the end of the round. So Spellweaver already has her turn planned out. Again, we just have to fade a special 2. Really like to see a non-special, that'd be great. That would put us in a much better spot here. Alright, Brute goes very early, makes a ranged attack. What is McCraggikins doing? Obstacles are reasonably valuable here, actually. We can put one here, which does damage to both of these. We can put one here. Fortunately, we can't put one to completely block this path off yet. Oh, no, we can't put one here yet. Only if the altar jumps could we put it, but then we couldn't place it. Yeah, that doesn't work. So that we actually wouldn't be able to damage the altar with a rock just yet. Sentient Growth would allow us to hit the Earth Demon plus the altar for a bit of damage. I guess that's probably worth doing. We don't really have anything better than that. What if we move? No, even if we move to here. It's a shame because, like I said, this obstacle is quite good, but I guess the obstacle will be good next turn as well. It's not likely we're killing the Wind Demon this turn anyway. So yeah. Yeah, I guess we're just going to hit some. I mean, again, it's just a 4 damage attack, 2 damage to the Earth Demon. It doesn't matter so much, but kind of can still matter theoretically. And 2 damage to the altar, which is definitely significant. I'm just going as early as possible. Yeah. And it's not optimal, but we don't really have much left to do with our cards. We could take a short rest, but with only 2 cards in our discard, I don't really know that that's the route we want to go. We're pretty short, reasonably short on longevity at this point. Down 3 lost cards already. All right. So again, we just really do not want to see a special 2 there. That's the most important thing by far. Earth Demon's stunned anyway, but he will flip. Okay, let's go. Please, not special 2. All right, special 1. That's fine. I would have preferred to see him just doing like move and attack. This would have been the best. Obviously, this would have helped a lot, but just, I mean, already just not getting special 2 is most significant. Again, it was only 1 out of 6 to get special 2, and they'd already flipped 2 in a row, so it was very unlikely. But still, this is acceptable. This is acceptable. All right. So first things first is the Brute. I got to restart my chat again. Give me a second. I don't know why the Twitch app is so crappy. I'm not sure if it's the Twitch app which is crappy. I guess some of you might use it, so maybe you know that it's not. I don't know. Or if it's just my tablet, which is crappy. Okay. So we're already in range for the Brute. Yep. We're going to gain 1 experience and make an attack 3 range 3 with Spare Dagger targeting the altar. Ooh. Wouldn't have minded that on something else, but still, that's very nice. 1 lucky gift force in the mouth. Altar's down to 12. It's a big deal. And then we've got the bottom of Provoking Roar. So the altar's jumping anyway, so I guess it's time to start moving back this direction. But I suppose there's an advantage of being next to the Wind Demon, so we can potentially just attack the Wind Demon and then run away next turn. I don't think there's any real reason to move more than 1 here. Should we hammer push and back Provoking Roar? No, because it's not going to give us a turn anyway. And I still don't think we use the healing potion here. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we're going to get pushed if we move next to him. I don't want to be pushed. Whatever. Push me. I dare you. Do it. I'm stopping there. I'm not giving in to bullies. All right. Next up is the Cragheart. So we're going to use Sentient Growth to do an attack 2, range 3. Go 1, 2, 3, and expand like this, hitting the altar and the Earth Demon. This is a less significant attack, so I'll just do the order myself. I'll do Altar then Earth Demon. Altar. Okay, 3. Earth Demon. Nice. Ooh, wow. I actually chose the correct order for once. What is this? What kind of a crazy world are we living in? And then we've got Unstable Upheaval as a generic move 2. We kind of actually want the boss to come in here, right? So that we can then run through all of us and place rocks here. Once, I guess the altar has to jump a number of more times before we can do that. We could try to lure him into here and then place a rock, but with the 7 movement, it doesn't even change much. Yeah, so there's not really a way to rock him off. Nah, I guess we'll just go to here then. Wind Demon goes. So the Wind Demon. Oh wait, did we? Yeah, we said we choose focus from the top of the card. All right. So pushes the brute and then makes an attack +0 on the brute. We didn't create earth or anything like that. Yeah. So mine attack 3 on the brute. All right, 4. No defensive stuff to use, so 4 damage. No joke. Spellweaver's up next. We use Engulf, make an attack 4, range 3, targeting the altar. Nothing special to use here. All right, 4 damage. Oh, we were so close. Wow, if we hadn't gotten that turn where it jumped away, if the brute had just hit it that one time, we actually would have killed it. Should we? Yeah, if we had short rested and tried to do a balance measure instead. No, because it would only been 4. I mean, I guess if we'd use like skewer plus balance measure, we would have gotten it. But that's only because of the crit, which we couldn't count on. All right, this is still fine. It's down to 5. We just have to wait for it to jump around a couple times. Just have to hope that it does keep jumping now. That's pretty important. And we've got a move 4 jump. So scenario level is 4, monster level is 5. Should we try to follow it through and just finish it? No, it's too risky. We have too few cards. Stick with the plan. The plan is still good, even if we're close to killing it. Man, if only we had the diamond shape, we could hit both of these. That'd be so nice with cold fire. How do we want to move? At least to here. What if we go all the way to here? Maybe expand. Yeah, seems fine. Still won't get hit by him. Yeah, we'll move there and we'll create an ice with the bottom reviving ether. All right, then the boss is at 73. So altar goes to here. Some things spawn. Or I think some things are there. I guess I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do the spawning first or placing the things. I assume I'm supposed to place the things first, but I'm not really sure. I'm not planning on killing any of these things, so I'm not going to set their hells. All right, and so what is the third thing according to the FAQ? Third monster type is flame. Oh no, earth. Oh, it's okay, it's easy enough. It's actually where the demons were then, right? No, because there were night demons in here. Oh, I read it wrong. Ah, crap. I read the FAQ wrong. I was looking at the... I was reading a letter and then the demon, except, I mean, I saw wind first, but then I just went and, like, read B. Yeah, it's just stupid. It's because the FAQ actually corrects the ordering of demons, so it was actually supposed to be the demons, like, it was supposed to be a night demon that spawned here. I could fix it now, but the problem is I've been attacking, I mean, I attacked this without disadvantage, which actually would have changed everything. So I'll just put a night demon here and then flame here, and then from then on I'll rectify it. It's just, again, because it's kind of weird that it says order to wind A, night B. Is that how it is in the rulebook as well, or is that backwards, the rulebook? Am I just reading things backwards? No. All right. So I'm not crazy. Yeah, the FAQ. Yeah, except game state. So ordering of demons. All right. So what I mean is, the rulebook instructs you to place demons in this order. So A, Frost Demon; B, Wind Demon; C, Night Demon; D, Earth Demon; E, Flame Demon; F, Sun Demon. When the altar jumps. Okay. Except incidentally, while I was checking the FAQ to see if the boss is immune to forced movement or not, I read this in the FAQ actually, which says that the order in which they spawn based on the altar jumping is actually incorrect in the rulebook, and this was the correct ordering. I realize now that this is actually based off of where the demons are standing. Like there was, night demon, except it spawns wind. Oh, there are wind demons here, and then night demons here, then earth demons here, then flame demons here, and it always spawns next to where they were standing. The same thing, okay? But the reason why I messed up is because it's backwards from the rulebook. So in the rulebook, it says A, Frost Demon; B, Wind Demon; C, Night Demon; D, Earth Demon, okay? Except here, it actually says Wind A, Night B, Earth C, Flame D. So obviously I saw Wind first because I just I read the sentence and I saw the first demon. But then when I tabbed back to that and glanced quickly, I just looked for B and then I read what was after without really noticing the asterisk. I mean, sorry, the comma after the letter. So I actually thought that it was an Earth demon that I should spawn for B rather than it being a Night demon because I was reading the letter first. I actually do think it's kind of silly to have in the FAQ put the letters after the names of demons, when in the rulebook the letters before the names of demons. I also think it's more intuitive, naturally, to put letter, demon, rather than demon, letter, because this is naturally how you would read. So anyway, because of this, unfortunately, I made a little bit of a mistake, and this does, like I said, it does change things, but there's nothing, I mean, it's too late to go back and fix this now. So yeah, it should have been a night demon here, and then it should be an earth demon here, but we're just gonna have to swap these two real quick and put a night demon here and leave the earth demon here, and then we'll correct it from then on. All right, so we do need to grab a night demon. I will, oops, just in case I ever do kill this, I'll put an S on it. I doubt I'm killing it. Yes, that is what I'm at. Fight the big bad demon. The boss demon himself, the prime demon, the demon of all demons. All right, so that's what the altar does. We do not flip for them, but we do need to flip. No, earth has already been flipped, so we just need to flip for flame. Okay, not moving, that's good. And so they do nothing. Well, no, so the boss needs to finish, but actually it doesn't matter. They do nothing as well. So then he moves there and makes an attack 6 on the Cragheart. All right, 5. Well, health is getting taxed, but fair enough. And then the Earth Demon goes, so I guess those will actually act. So let's see. -1 movement, so 1, 2, and 1. And this one is stunned. So this one shouldn't be able to reach us, but again, it can do a ranged attack and can get +1 movement, so we'll see. Alright, Spellweaver needs to do a short rest, so he really, basically, the two cards we really care about not losing here are Reviving Ether and Cold Fire. Oh no, that's the worst actually, because if we got in Reviving Ether, we could just pay 1 life and reroll, and then we would only have a 1 out of 3 of getting Cold Fire, but here we actually can't reroll. Oh, okay. That sucks, but oh, whatever. Have a sip of water. And like I said, I think I'm just going to long rest with the Brute. We're just killing time at this point while we wait for the altar to come back to us. And the Brute doesn't really have great stuff to do. I mean, yeah, he can contribute to killing these things, but I would rather make sure I have the boots back up and I gain effectively 5 health by long resting, so I get 5 health and 2 movement / 2 damage. So I think the long rest is actually just valuable here. It's weird to long rest in the middle of a boss fight, but ultimately I think it does make sense. All right. So over the course of 2 turns, we're going to drop rocks and heal. We need to do a lot of healing because we're going to take a lot of damage. If we drop rocks, can we actually kill this thing is the question. Ooh, dropping rocks is also quite valuable. Unfortunately, we can't go early. This is our earliest, but we actually can't afford to use that. I think dropping rocks is valuable here. and then healing next turn. Because if we can get a rock here, this takes them so much longer to get around to us. But also, there's a chance we kill that if the Spellweaver gets a +1 in her attack here. Yeah, I guess we'll save reviving Ether. This way we don't run the risk of having to pay 1 life in rerolls. And we'll see what we end up doing. I'm gonna attack the Wind Demon no matter what. Alright, this looks fine. I guess, yeah, we have the Piercing Bow to attack the Wind Demon now too. So actually we might even just be able to kill it. That's good. Okay. Yeah, I like this. Let's go. Alright, Earth Demons aren't moving. Wind Demon's going at 2. That's a little bit annoying. Using one of our elements, this doesn't matter so much. We also need to do you as well. Okay. And we need to do the boss as well. Okay. At least it keeps jumping. That's good. Not a reshuffle yet. I would rather see a reshuffle because now we're actually going to be at a 50% chance of the altar not jumping, which is quite bad for us. But it is what it is. Alright, so Wind Demon's first. There's just the one. He's going to gain shield. He's going to consume. These elements are equal. I've got ECO's. So fire is the first element. Alright, so he consumes fire. Creates wind. Makes attack -1, move -1. Lower initiative is the Spellweaver, so he's going to attack the Spellweaver. I knew that this was a possibility, but I wasn't afraid of 1 Wind Demon attack on a 10 off the Spellweaver. Okay, so -1, so this ends up being an attack for 1. Perfectly fine. So then the Wind Demon's done. That is the only Wind Demon, correct? Yes. Alright, next up we have the Night Demon. So the Night Demon has +0/+0, so 4 movement because he's a regular. Oh no, he was an elite, right? Yes. This was special 1. My bad. This shouldn't matter too much, but it can. Hold on 1 second. My cat's up to some shenanigans in the hallway. I can hear it. I gotta go turn on the light and see what's happening. 1 second, sorry. Oh, cats. Alright. So what do we have now? So is the Night Demon with 5 movement? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. And the Creation of a Dark. Then next up is the Spellweaver. So the Spellweaver is going to make an attack for creating fire. No downside of creating fire, they're way too far. Attacking the Wind Demon. Again, we have a reasonable chance of killing it, just have to get a +1. We got a couple of those in our deck. Don't think it's worth using the Stun Powder here. We'll save that for something much more threatening like this Night Demon. So yeah, Piercing Bow to make this attack 4 completely ignore shield. And attack Wind Demon, the regular Wind Demon arrows. Nice, +1, perfect. Alright, it is summoned, so it doesn't drop a coin, fortunately, but we eliminated an enemy, that's pretty valuable. And then we have the bottom of Flashing Burst to move. I guess we do want to keep moving a bit this way. Unfortunately, we can't move very far because he's blocking the door, but so be it. A little bit's better than not at all. Just move there with the bottom of Flashing Burst. We need to use Reviving Ether next turn, but that's fine as well. Alright, Flame Demons are next. They have 4 movement, or it has 4 movement. There's only 1, I believe, yes, for now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then next up we have Earth Demon. So the Earth Demon doesn't have Earth to consume, is going to heal himself for 3. It's okay, we're running away from you anyway. You have 17 health normally, so he goes back up to 16. Alright. Well, our damage on him didn't matter so much, but that's okay. Next up is the Cragheart. Well, the rocks being a little bit less meaningful at this point. Gonna create an Earth, gain 1 experience, and drop rocks. Just
placing these here to create a barrier to make it further for them to run after us. It does do 2 damage here. I don't know where I would want. I don't want to place anything here because this would hurt my allies. One here can theoretically help us as well. Well, I'll just place another one here then, I guess. Doesn't really do anything. Just have to place it. And then with the bottom of backup ammo, we've got nothing. We are going to use our healing potion now, though, because we're about to get whacked. You need to actually get through here. I guess all of us except the Cragheart have jump. I guess we have no new information here. So actually, we're not going to move with the Spellweaver. No, we're going to move to here with the Spellweaver. We're going to move to like this with the Cragheart. Because we actually need to draw him out so that the Cragheart can actually get through. Because the Cragheart does not have jump. The other people do. Oh, welcome back. Sorry about the crash. Yeah. Again, there's no new information here because the Spellweaver moved after attacking and the Cragheart does non-flip stuff. So yeah, we'll just move to there actually. We'll have the Spellweaver move to there and we'll have the Cragheart move to there with backup ammo. Okay. Reason why the Spellweaver has to move this far away is because we need the boss to attack the Cragheart still, not the Spellweaver. And then the altar goes, boss/altar. So where's the next spot that it jumps to? Like this. So it is an elite flame demon. I don't know how much health it has, but I'm not killing it like I said. And the boss goes, moves to here, attacks the Cragheart. So it's an attack 6. Alright, 5. It's fine. Although, we do still have to lose a card to the next attack at this rate. Would have been the advantage of, I guess, using a heal that turn instead. In the end, the rocks end up being pretty useless since we killed the Wind Demon with the Spellweaver herself. But there's a reasonable chance that we didn't kill it, so it kind of made sense. Alright, and then we get the long rest from the Brute. Heal 2. Refresh all defensive items. Choose a card to lose. At this point, I think we can almost certainly just get rid of Spirit Dagger. This range attack doesn't seem to have a lot of value. Well, I guess we can use like a range attack while running away, but now these things are far and we don't really care about damaging them at this point. They have too much health. The goal is just to run from them. Alright. So, oops, we could actually end the round. So we still don't have a reshuffle from the boss deck, really? Gotta double check that to make sure I haven't messed up. No. Still no reshuffle. Oh yeah, you're right. I think I've actually been doing his attacks wrong the entire time. I think that's not the first time, actually. Good call. I don't know why I just keep thinking that they have the base attack instead of the -1. Maybe I haven't been doing it wrong multiple times, but yeah. Thank you. That's good, actually, because now you would have to get a positive modifier for me to have to lose a card. Admittedly, it seems reasonably likely. So I guess in that case, we do kind of want the Brute to move up there to absorb the attack. 1, 2, 3 with the jump to there. Cragheart needs to move through, which we can do with boots. Yeah, that seems fine. Can the Brute do anything of use when jumping past the boss? Not really, right? No, it's not worth letting this move up and hit us. Better just go early. I guess if we're going early, in that case, we're using Provoking Roar and using this to move, because we don't need a ton of movement just yet. Just enough to get to the door. And us doing a short rest. Now we actually have to keep this because it gives us earlier initiative and gives us more movement. So we have to play the top of, so pay 1 life and lose that. All right, so we get to go 26. This is still this is the classic Spellweaver risk, right? So the Brute is going to end up abandoning the Spellweaver here. I guess proximity though, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah. So the Night Demon's focus will actually be the Cragheart. Although the Cragheart would also have to lose cards theoretically, but that's less risky because he can actually lose 2 cards. If the Spellweaver has to take a hit here, again, 8 health, pretty safe. Yeah. Anyway, this is fine. Okay. Let's go. So we just want to see special 1 or special 2 here. Just do not want to see non-special. All right, great. That's perfect. Getting a refresh, late initiative is fine, I guess. Ooh, plus movement for the Night Demon. That's less good. I guess they're hitting the Brute, who's back up to 8. Still has a healing potion as well, so kind of okay. All right, so Night Demon's first. There's just the 1. He has 6 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we are going to get to disarm him in the end, so I guess that's not bad. No, we're not, because he's going to be invisible. Stupid dark. All right, so he consumes the dark. He makes an attack -1, so normally a 6, but a 5 on the Brute. So a 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Night Demon's done. So then the Brute goes. Do we need to hammer a potion? Yeah, we will want to. So we're going to do a move 3 jump using the bottom of Leaping Cleave. No one's going to get stranded. No, it's them. Oops, I did not remove the Wind Demons. A lot of things to keep track of here. All right. So we'll do a move 3 jump, creating wind. One, 2, 3 to there. And then we'll do a generic attack on the top of Provoking Roar as an attack 2 so that we can hammer potion it back. And we'll attack. Right. He's muddled, except he, I believe, let's see, is immune to muddle? Yes, he is. That's too bad. That would have been a nice value at the very least. I mean, does he really have to be immune to muddle? I guess Prime Demons can't be confused. They know exactly what they want. All right. But now, since we use that for generic 2, we're going to just hammer potion it back. Okay. And then we're done. The problem here is the Brute's actually going to be the one to have to lose a card because he's going to get hit. He's only got 4 life. Oh, so I guess, yeah. Oops. So we'll use our minor healing potion as well to be up to 7. So then we should be fine from the boss's attack. Indeed, prototype. All right. So then next up is the Spellweaver. So we're going to do a move 4 with Flashing Burst. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is actually invisible. So we move 4 to there using the bottom Flashing Burst, and then we create a dark and lose this, getting back all of our lost cards. All right, and that's it for our turn. Then the Flame Demons go. They don't move. Assuming the fire doesn't actually matter, it's going to go away at the end of the round anyway. Then we have the Cragheart. So he's going to do a heal 2, target 2, and heal himself and the Brute, since they're the ones who get smashed a bunch. I have to tank the demon friend here. So they each heal for 2, and he's going to use a move 3 on the bottom of Dirt Tornado. We need to get in that room. 2, 3. At the same time, this way we could split the attacks next turn. We kind of want a long rest. This door is actually going to, no, we want to place obstacles actually next turn. We want to go early and place obstacles because this door is going to open here, and so we can block everything here off. Yeah. So, no. So we'll use our boots as well. Although I guess then we can just use our boots next turn anyway. This doesn't actually change anything. Because everyone else has to move before us anyway. Yeah, alright, we'll just stay here. I love a Spellweaver for that card. If a summon generates an element, can you use that element? Yes, of course. Summon goes before your turn, so if you have a summon that generates elements, you can use them. Alright, so we did the healing, we did the movement, and like I said, I don't see any reason to use the boots here. Can't think of anything. What if this has -1 movement? It would have 4 movement still. No, it would still hit the Brute. So what I'm saying is I would rather have the, I mean, if he goes to here now, then both of these can attack the brute. I'd rather have one attack on the Cragheart, one attack on the brute. Although I guess, no, because we want everyone to go early next turn. Yeah, which we can do. Yeah, this Spellweaver Reviving Ether is a very cool card. It's definitely a cool design. Yeah, so I think I'll just stop here. All right. We have the boss at 85. So the altar jumps to here. Hold on, does that door actually never open? That's an interesting question. Interesting. I'm not sure that can actually be right, but well, that's bad and good for me. This is generally good for anyone doing this scenario. It makes the scenario much easier. Um, so according to this, let's check the FAQ real quick, actually, before I say anything there. No, yeah, there's nothing in the FAQ either. Well, it says that you only open all the doors if the room hasn't been revealed, but the room was actually revealed when this door was opened. So I guess when the altar jumps here, it actually doesn't open this door. This is actually bad for me because it means I won't be able to place obstacles here like I wanted to stop these things from coming to me. Unless I open the door first, which I can't actually do. I guess only the brute could do. But it's good because it means that any enemies that summon up here, they're never going to take the short route to us. They're always going to take a very long route around, which seems kind of silly that it doesn't just open this door. But I'm just going to interpret the rules the way they're meant to be interpreted, which is, I think, the safest thing to do. All right, so what is room number 5? So the order is, so after Flame, then we have Sun. All right. And this was special 1, which is so an elite sun. Yeah, I mean, never having to face that elite sun will be pretty nice. The fact that it's literally going to run all the way around rather than running down. Has anyone else encountered this situation? All right. And then the boss attacks the brute because the brute went earlier, right? Yes. So as usual, I'll attack 6 on the brute. Oh, miss. That's very, very welcome, actually. All right, and then the Earth Demons go, and they have +0 movement. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Continue to investigate the edge cases, indeed. CC reshuffle as well. I loved Corlord in that thread when I responded by saying that the person could draw 2 nulls. The problem is I didn't adequately express what I meant when they were saying like, yeah, so you just reshuffle it back in, but remember what you had so you know it as the first result. And I was like, well, so this means you could flip two misses on an advantage attack. What I didn't mean is that, because then the person gave me the typical condescending response, yes, of course. Advantage doesn't mean that you can't miss. I wanted to be like, yeah, trust me, I understand that. I'm in favor of rules as written for advantage. But what they didn't understand is what I'm actually talking about is that it means you could literally have an attack where you have the same card as both results. Literally the exact same card. That's what I actually wanted to say, but I was like, not even worth it. All right, so I think we're doing some short rests here or something, right? The altar's there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it has 5 health. But we just have to not miss then, and we can kill it. So, balanced measure plus skewer. This gives us an attack 8 with the boots on something with 5 health. Again, literally the only card that's bad is a miss. Even a -2, we're fine. Spellweaver, what can you do, my friend? I guess just toss out some healing, since it seems like the brute should have this whole situation on lockdown, right? Healing is valuable. There's no earth, but well, it's still 2 heals, going early, making sure we're all alright. Seems pretty safe. And the Cragheart needs to do a short rest. Sure, that card matters very little at this point. So I guess if the brute does open the door at 35, then we can place obstacles to block the bottom off here after 35. Unfortunately, I mean, there's still a decent chance then the boss comes through, which sucks, but if the boss doesn't come through, it's pretty good for us. So let's place obstacles so we can go after 35. Where's the 38 when you need it? Oh my god. 64 is the best then we have otherwise. Brute can't go faster though and make it all the way to the altar. We have to do skewer plus balance measure. I mean, we could just do like, no, it doesn't change anything. Does not change a thing. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, prototype. All right, so we can't really very realistically place obstacles because it would have to be at initiative like 64. Well, that's still better than 3 of the boss specials. Let's give it a try. Who knows? We'll see. Otherwise, I mean, worst case scenario, we do like movement in a straight line, which I guess actually moves us quite far, and do some healing. That can be useful as well. I think this is fine overall. All right. So we need to uneliminate sun. So it's going to be sun, and then frost will be what spawns in here. Okay, here we go. 41. And you. All right, well, we actually do go before the boss. We will be able to block him off. But shouldn't matter too much here at this point. All right, so it's Spellweaver first. But we're not getting the coins for our goal, so let's just, like I said, do the healing things. Oh no, the Spellweaver actually has to move to be able to place those obstacles. All right, well, that's fine as well. Because we will to place the obstacles. Yeah, the Night Demon's going to get to hit their Cragheart first, but that's fine. After that, we'll have the obstacles placed. Yeah, it's still worthwhile, the obstacles. I mean, it's going to just basically just to stop the boss, if nothing else. It'll allow the Sun Demon to come through, which is kind of scary, but the Sun Demon will also have moved a bit first, so we'll have some time. This is all just in preparation, just on the small chance of a miss from the Brute, basically. All right, so we use the top of Elemental Aid. I guess the one who's getting hit here is going to be the Cragheart, right? Because the boss goes later, so the Night Demon will walk up and hit the Cragheart, so might as well heal the Cragheart. So we heal the Cragheart for 3, up to 12 with Elemental Aid. And then we'll use Mana Bolt as a generic move too, going 1, 2. Okay, so then we're done. So then, wow, that's random. Soulforge was the free-to-play card game, right? Oh, are we next, actually? Oh, yeah, it's 35 now, so the Sun Demon is going to run the good way. So should we heal the Brute then, I guess? Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, because the boss is going to die, actually, when we destroy the altar. Okay, so we'll just change that real quick. We'll do our heal on the Brute instead of the Cragheart. Ooh, if you guys are talking about card games. So first of all, I respect you for playing Eternal as well because, well, I've never actually played it myself because I'm kind of over the generally free-to-play card game thing, but I do love LSV. He's easily my favorite Magic Pro. I think he's awesome. So I respect the people who like Eternal because of supporting him is pretty cool. But the card game that I always recommend to people is Netrunner. I love that. And you can also play Netrunner for free online now. Well, you've always been able to, actually. Although, obviously, the interface isn't as good as something like Eternals, which is designed for it. Tunstone Fifi. Sorry, my cat is on my lap now. Sorry. Alright, I got that. Come on, this is not reasonable. Give me a second, sorry. It's fine for her to come on my lap, but she comes on my lap and starts like running around in circles and meowing at me. Yeah, that's what I've heard, which is nice. All right, so let's do it with the Brute. So we gain 2 experience here total. We're gonna do a move 6, plus we're gonna use our boots, so we get a move 8 total. Okay. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, 8. Let me make sure that I did put that in the right spot. I assumed it was the center of the room. Yes, it was. Okay. is huge into Netrunner. I was too busy at the time to get into it. Fair enough. Like I said, well, it's tough to pick it up, but you can play it online for free. I'll provide the link just in case anyone is ever curious. But this is not really the place to learn it. You'd have to learn it somewhere else. But literally, when I say play it for free, you have access to all the cards and everything for free. So it's always something to consider if you're looking for a card game to play and you have a bit of time. But like I said, that is not designed. I mean, that's designed for people who know how to play Netrunner and want to play, not for people to learn the game. There's no tutorial or anything like that. So you have to kind of take that upon yourself to learn. But it's cool that there's access to all the stuff. All right. So this is lost. Balance measure is an attack 8, targeting the altar. All right, here we go. Oh, of course now. Of course, whatever. I mean, it's not a miss, so who cares, right? So actually an attack 16 on the altar. So the altar has 5 life, which means the altar goes down to this. -11, which means I guess the altar explodes as well. I'm not really sure. The Prime Demon definitely explodes, which means the Cragheart, well, would be able to get a coin if that stupid Night Demon wasn't going to take. Oh yeah, we don't want coins anyway. All right. So he's done. So now the Night Demon goes and is going to go here and makes an attack +1, creating a dark, targeting a Cragheart. It's pretty impossible for me to lose here, but I'm just going to go through the motions anyway. All right. So this was an attack 6 + 1, so 7, down to 2. Then the Sun Demon goes, consumes the dark, actually creates Sun, and attacks the Brute with an advantaged attack 5. So 5 damage. So 1 charge. Oops. And 4. Yeah, Gripe a crit. I appreciate you trying to bring that one to the mainstream, but I don't think that's ever going to get there. All right. There's nothing else that will get to attack us here, is there? Well, the Spellweaver is never getting attacked. All right, we're good. We have no battle goals, which actually impact this. I mean, the only one who's getting his battle goal is the Cragheart anyway. Why is the person with the worst battle... I mean, modifier attack, always the one who gets the battle goals? God. Well, not always the one, because he doesn't get many. All right, so 1 experience for the top of Rock Slide, and there's nothing else that I'm doing here because there's nothing else to be gained. And yeah, that's it. All right, nice. Well, we beat it, so that's good at least. Like I said, playing the strategy was much easier. It wasn't really close to being lost. Which is not super cool. All right, the Rift neutralized, so we need that achievement. All right, it's the Rift closed. Oops. Is it there, I think? This is another edge case, though. Would this count for the Dynamo battle goal? Just destroying obstacles? I mean, technically it destroys the Night Demon, or the Prime Demon, so it's like, this is as roundabout as possible, but I do wonder, would this actually count for Dynamo? Does anyone have an idea? I mean, I guess yes, but it's such a weird, like, it's not even destroying an obstacle, which is an enemy, kind of an enemy. It's attacking an obstacle, which is an enemy, to destroy an actual enemy. It's so roundabout. All right. So we have 50 gold each, +1 prosperity, and city event 78 to the deck. All right, so let's grab city event 78. Oops. One's considered enemies for all ability purposes. Well, I mean, since it says that, it still makes sense that you should consider it for battle goals, but obviously that says ability purposes, so it's not necessarily clarifying that, but yeah, I mean, it was splitting hairs, I think, to say that that doesn't count. All right. And 50 gold each, which is pretty nice. And by pretty nice, I mean very nice. To 70 gold? Oh, yeah. All right, over here, up to 97 gold. And here, so we're gonna go to 42 gold, right? Yeah, exactly. Do our enhancement right away. All right. And we get to check this one off. Infernal Throne, done. All right. Did I put a check mark somewhere else accidentally? Looked like I did, but I guess I didn't. All right, great. I did not get much experience here, huh? On the Spellweaver released. Now this is what happens when you start going cold fire. Well, that one actually stays. All right. Looks good. Just make sure that this is working. All right. So, reset health. We gained 8 gold additionally here. We may need to, yeah, we're gonna have to take another look at enhancement for the brute now that we're over the 100 mark. Although maybe it's better to wait a little bit longer, I think, actually. For no specific reason. We gain no gold here. I guess I should do the experience while I'm at it. So it was 12 experience, right? For level 4, yeah, 12 experience plus 11, so 23 experience. Nice. Here we gained 2 check marks, so I believe we're gonna get 2 perks actually, which is nice. Yep, 23 experience as well. So much XP. Oops. Oh, yeah. Boom. Fair enough, Cragheart. Yeah, I had some old cards as well, and my family gave them to Goodwill after I'd moved out, which is a bit of a shame, although nothing that valuable. Well, that's not true. I had revised dual lands, although obviously revised aren't worth as much, but still. Yes, it is annoying when you have to click 23 times. Ooh, Rand. That's rough. That's like even worse than what happened to me. I mean, similarly, like basically the same effect for both of us, but yours is more of a feels bad, man. Can I do shift? No. Nope. Not in this mod. Control, same thing. Yeah, exactly. All right. Clear that. I do agree that that should be certainly added to this mod because that it is a little bit silly. So here we've got 14 experience. So is the Spellweaver finally surpassed in experience? 32, 40, yeah, the Spellweaver's finally been surpassed in experience, which happens. And we gained 12 gold. Admittedly, we just did a boss fight or boss scenario 2 times, which isn't great experience in terms of using fire orbs and stuff like that, but it still gets worse. Okay. So let's do all our sound stuff and then we'll clear up the rest of this. All right, so we know exactly what we're doing on the Cragheart. Where is it? I guess let's level up first. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so we've got some perks to get. So we're gonna take ignore negative scenario effects. I'm just basically following the guide here, but it's also just what I would recommend. Again, just because we have such a small deck at this point, because we haven't increased the number of cards at all, and we've removed 4 cards at this point. Getting 3 -1s or 3 curses for a scenario effect is really, really bad at this point. So I prefer to do that just as a precaution. And again, now all these perks basically suck. This perk sucks for sure, and these are kind of like the mediocre perks, just like the filler perks, which you're never super excited for, but are also not bad. The +1 immobilize and +2 muddle, and I think it's very clear +2 muddle, just because +2 is just better than +1, and immobilize. Immobilize is definitely more powerful, but it's also much more random. Therefore, putting it on modifiers is just pretty medium. Whereas muddle, it's not very good either, although it's more consistent at least than immobilize, and it's also a +2 rather than a +1. Almost a full power set and start dual lands library. To ever. All right, I'll answer this stuff in order. Do you guys ever hear a card game called Imagination? No, I've never heard of that. So prototype. Is there ever reason to take that? Yes, like I said, I think this is a very bad perk, without a doubt, in general. But at some point, we're going to get. Where is it? We have. We need our cards anyway, since we're going to do enhancement. We have Blunt Force. We can set aside because we're going to enhance it in a second. So we have this card, Blunt Force. So once we get 100 gold, we're going to put Strengthen enhancement on the Retaliate oneself. This is so valuable anytime you can do this sort of enhancement, because it basically means you move for the turn and then attack with Strengthen, and then the following turn you still have Strengthen as well. So anytime you have this sort of move with a self effect that has an enhancement dot on an earlier level card, I would say level 3 or earlier, it's almost always worth it to put Strengthen on this. It's really, really valuable. There are a lot of classes that have level 1 cards that can actually do this. The Mind Thief is an example, who has Empathetic Assault, which is a move to heal 2 self. Similarly, you can strengthen it. Now, it's worse for the Mind Thief because she has a lot more rolling modifiers, but it's still quite good. Anyway, so here, once we have this enhancement, this perk becomes better than it normally is. I still think it's worse than all of these, but I will take it after these once we have this perk, because we'll be making so many advantage attacks that basically it's more likely that we can not. I mean, when we draw the -2, it'll be with something else anyway, and we'll essentially be adding 2 more +2s into our deck. So at this point, we'll be up to a total of 5 +2s in our deck, which is pretty good. And because we have advantage so much, the +2s are more likely to be useful. But yeah, outside of enhancing this, I would generally not, if I don't have this, or at the very least maybe like some things which can refresh items, stuff like this, and goggles, I don't think I would ever take this perk. It's quite bad. All right, so we gained our perks, so let's actually do that. So we just get to add a +2 muddle. So, and just to talk a little bit more about this, so this is the same reason why people really love putting Strengthen on the bottom mana bolt, which is a good enhancement as well. The problem is this is actually more limited, and it's still a good enhancement. And this just shows how good the movement plus Strengthen enhancements are. But basically, this is a good enhancement to begin with, and the restriction is that you can't move, which kind of sucks a lot of the times. Being able to have the Strengthen while you move is just so much more flexible, because many times even just 2 movement is enough to get in position to attack. And just by having any value of movement on there, you also can use, boots of striding or some form of movement boots, which are pretty common for most classes in the game. So it still allows you to then get into position and use this, which just makes it so much more flexible, which is the reason why in fact, I actually consider. All right, this card is level 3. I don't necessarily consider it to be broken. I don't think that there should be any level 1 cards in the game that have a self effect with an enhancement slot. I think this is just legitimately broken. I think it's a mistake by Isaac to include this, because I think those are almost always one of the, I want to say, top 3 enhancements by far for that class, and just way too efficient in terms of enhancements. So enhancement bottom, you can use the move 2 and still get the strengthen. Yes, exactly. Oh, for this, not for Mana Bolt. For Blunt Force, yes. For Mana Bolt, you cannot. That's the problem with the Mana Bolt enhancement, which is still a good enhancement, because then you just have to not move, but you still get the 2 turns of Strengthen, which for the Spellweaver is quite good. But unfortunately, you are limited to not being able to use this as an Initiative 7 move 2, which is more restricting. If you have it on something that already has a move 2 plus a self effect, yes, then you can do the move 2 and get the Strengthen, because obviously there's a move 2 on the card in addition to the effect that you put the Strengthen on. Okay, sorry. So we're level 5 now. So that means we get one of these cards. Oh no, not really. Let's grab the actual cards. All right. So these are all the cards we can consider at level 5. Have a sip of water because it's made of an explanation. So for anyone who hasn't read the guide, shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Stone Pummel is okay. The idea is to combine this with the bottom of Forceful Storm, which allows you to make this into an attack 5. In that case, the idea is that you're typically hitting 2 targets with this attack, and getting 2 target attack 5 as level 5 card is quite good. The problem with this is it requires a very specific combo, which has issues with when you lose cards, and also the biggest issue is that you have 32 initiative, and with 32 initiative, it's very possible for monsters to go before you and to hit you, or to run away, or to disarm you, all sorts of things which can ruin your plans, which is why I really just don't consider this combo to be very good. I mean, which is why I don't consider this build for this class to be very good. It's basically like it's similar power level to other melee classes in the game, but with more restrictions. The having to tie specific cards together and having to have bad initiative. Most other melee damage dealing classes in the game, especially unlockable ones, are just more effective, are equally effective in terms of damage output, while having more flexibility in terms of how they use their cards and how they move. So that's the reason why I don't like this. Here we're using, I guess, the second edition. Yeah. Then on Petrify. So Petrify is pretty mediocre card. The top execute is quite bad. This is just like, I mean, at level 2 for the Brute, we got a move 4, which helped a lot for the Brute, and a top regular normal enemy execute. Now, admittedly, it's not ranged, but that doesn't change too much most of the time. And I mean, it changes something, but not so much. And that was at level 2. Here it's at level 5. This is just not really comparable. A level 5 card shouldn't really, like, this isn't even necessarily a better card than the level 2 card we got from the Brute. And the biggest problem with this card is like move on bottom, loss on top, but we're about to get a bunch. I mean, level 6, 7, and 8 are all the exact same template for cards. So we only need so many move on bottom, loss on top, move on bottom, loss on tops, which we're going to end up getting at the following levels anyway. This is the reason why Petrify is just not inspiring to us. Oh, by the way, before I forget, I need to put another check mark on the Brute for having completed another boss scenario. We're up to 2 out of 4 now. Okay, so this is why I just don't like Petrify very much. So I actually don't like either level 5 cards. This is going to lead to us taking one of the earlier cards. And this is a little bit interesting. All right, so Clear the Way, I really don't like this card very much. I think in 4-player it's fine because the upside is there, even though it's a really annoying card to have to actually use. I think it generally pays for itself, although it depends on the scenario. But in 3-player, I'm definitely not running this card. So this really leaves these two. This is actually really close. Explosive Punch, the top loss isn't very useful, and this is ultimately what makes us probably not end up taking Explosive Punch. Now, I would really like Explosive Punch at this level, right? Right now at level 5, I have no move 4s at all, and the 28 initiative is also pretty good for me. But the reason why I'm not going to take this, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, ultimately, is because at level 6, I'm going to get a move 3, which is also a move 6. At level 7, I'm going to get a move 4 jump, both with better initiative than this 28. So I don't really, I mean, I need this now, but in one level, I won't really need this much anymore. It just won't be nearly as important, and the top loss is so bad at this point that it's just not very tempting. So ultimately, we're going to end up choosing Kinetic Assault here. I don't really love Kinetic Assault as a card. It's just kind of average, or actually even slightly below average, I would say. It's fine for the Cragheart because it just gives us 19 initiative, basically. And occasionally we'll use the top attack because it's still just an attack 4, which is alright. The one movement rarely actually means anything. But the advantage is also that we get a low initiative top attack. Unfortunately, it's not a ranged attack, so it still doesn't leave us so flexible. But it sometimes does stuff. And again, the bottom can be used to deal with flame demons and things like that. Overall, this is a pretty unexciting level for us, as Kinetic Assault isn't really anything we want that badly at this point, but it's still a card which helps us to some reasonable extent, and we are still going to take it, just because we don't have any better options. Fortunately, next level with Cataclysm, will improve. Things will improve substantially. All right. So now what we need to do is our enhancement. So we already spent the 150 gold for it. Yeah. Come to Papa. Cursed NATO is back. In terms of game balance, when you retire a character, you have to start a new level 1. You don't start a new level 1, necessarily. You remember, your new character starts at the level of the prosperity of the town. So you have a bit of a catch-up mechanic in this. Because you'll usually, here we're on still just our first party, and we're getting pretty close to Prosperity 3. By the time we retire, in a couple scenarios plus one retirement or whatever, we'll already be Prosperity 3. So you'd be starting level, usually by your first retirement, you should minimum be level 2, if not level 3, for your first characters. And after that, it gets even higher. But yes, still, like, for example, if we retire one of these people at level 3. I mean, with 3 prosperity, and they're all level 9. One person's level, so one person starts at level 3, and you've got like 2 party members who are level 9. Yeah, without a doubt, the level 3 character will feel less powerful. It depends what your role is specifically. Someone like a Cragheart, for example, just needs to get level 4 and can use Rock Slide repeatedly, and will still have a huge impact because things like obstacles are really, I mean, useful regardless. Lots of classes that have a lot of CC will also feel very good, even despite being lower level. But a class like the Brute, for example, feels really bad if you're underleveled. There's no doubt about that. So if you were to like retire at level 9 with your party members being at level 9 and then you re-roll into a Brute and you start at level 3, yeah, it's not going to be a super fun experience without a doubt. But classes which don't have CC, don't have support abilities, are few and far between, I would say. So most of the time, you're not going to feel like a Brute. The ones that are the worst are like Brute or tanky classes in general, or pure damage dealers. When you retire, you can choose which class you play. Regardless of which class you unlock, you can choose any class which is unlocked to play. Okay. So first of all, I'm gonna swap out the stun powder now, because I definitely have been regretting not having a ham and a potion a couple times here. We kept the stun powder just because the scenario was more of a sprint than a marathon, but from now on, I definitely think I prefer the ham and a potion over a stun powder. All right, we're gonna do our city and road event, or we're gonna do our city event, and then we'll figure out the scenario we're gonna do. Oh, we need to do a little bit of shopping too. I guess we'll do our shopping first, actually. The Cragheart can actually buy one more small item now. Is there another small item that we even want? So we have what? I guess we can get stun powder as well. Well, only if someone else sells it, we can buy one. I don't think I value getting stun powder more than... Well, at the same time, having access to stun is nice. Yeah, I think I'll buy a stun powder. All right, so what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to sell this one on the Spellweaver, putting us up to 92 gold. And then I'm going to buy the stun powder on the Cragheart, which costs us just a minus 2, yeah, 18 gold. Alrighty, giving us our 5th small item. Ah yes, and we increase our health pool as well. Level 5, level 5, level 5, all around, right? Yes. The race level 6 is on. Alright. Clear out all this stuff. Oops. All this stuff can be deleted. Yes. Alright. So, which scenario are we going to do next? Can you only have 9 items, or you can have more? You can have more. Yeah. It would be quite useful for us, Warlord. You can have more than 9 items. This is just the setup for this thing. I'll just set the additional ones on the side. All right, let me do my city event real quick, and then I'll cut the recording, and then we'll start for the next scenario. Oops, I didn't shuffle. This is the card we just put into our deck. Okay. Not bad. We just gained 1 reputation. So what's next? Oh yeah, we need to cut the recording and figure out our next scenario. Let's figure out the scenario first. Then I can cut it afterwards. So we're never doing this one. I do want to do this one at some point, right? But that's not a priority for me just yet. I think I'm doing 19 now. Yeah, 19 seems fine. That scenario that we completed didn't just unlock any scenarios, did it? No, it just gave us achievement. All right, yep, we're gonna do scenario 19 next. All right, let's cut the recording.